Yo, 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 welcome to Defend Your Units with special guest Tyler from 138 MMA. We are back, UFC 303, Pereira versus Brashat. I can't even say it. Yuri, I'll just say Yuri. And yeah, how's it going, Tyler? Haven't had you on a show for a while. Good to see you. How'd you do last week, and are you looking forward to the card?
Yeah, man, this is great. Been looking forward to actually this stream all week, all last week. Once you invited me, I've been stoked for this because we haven't done this in a while. And Johnny, I was starting to think that you didn't like me anymore. I thought we were friends, and then we didn't hang out for a long time. And I was like, is it me? Is it him? I didn't know.
One of those weird situations.
So that's good. Last week was actually really good. It was one of those weeks that like it was a minefield, and I dodged all the major landmines. Went like 8-3 on picks, and didn't bet anything that was like a big landmine. And I did well enough on the PFL the day or so before the PFL and Bellator that I was able to just kind of have a few like long shot dart throws that didn't matter if they hit or not. So that was nice. And we're gonna do the same this week. We've got PFL, we got Invicta, which I don't know if you know this, Johnny, but I am the Invicta Whisperer. So we're about to go. I have 3
I heard rumors on the street.
Oh yeah, it's killing Invicta. Like I've got this. So it's going to be a good week this week. The pay-per-view, I don't have as much action on this as I do on like PFL and Invicta, but we got a few spots, and there's a few that I really like. There's a lot of chalk, but it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. Is Invicta on a certain night every week, or is it like every other week?
So they're not even weekly. Like it's just sporadic. But they're this Friday. Okay. It's only a 7-fight card, but they've now just like locked down this deal with CBS Sports, where like before they were just on like YouTube and stuff. They were on a different network in like Canada maybe, I don't remember, but like but they're now on CBS Sports. And Invicta is great because like I know a lot of people hate women's MMA, but so do bookies. And so bookies don't know anything when they're lining these fights. It's just completely arbitrary. And I remember my favorite bet I've ever made on an Invicta fight was Hayani Amanda when she claimed her championship for Invicta before going to the UFC. It was an atomweight championship, which is where she should be. She was like a plus 240 underdog, and that was absurd. Wow. So like that was like one of my favorite. I just hammered that. I was like, she's plus 240, and she's going to fight for the title. And don't get me wrong, the champion's a good fighter, or the champion at the time was a good fighter, but like it was clear that it was the time for this title to change hands. But the bookies just didn't know anything other than, oh, this girl's the champion, so she's the favorite. If they'd watched any tape, they would have known, but they didn't. And it was just like plus 240. Are you kidding me? Like, okay, like it was. So they do that stuff all the time. And like,
true.
There's a girl, Big Bad Olga Rubin. She's continuously an underdog and just keeps cashing tickets. Although she's an underdog in this one, and I've actually stayed away from this fight this week because it's a tough stylistic matchup for her. I think she can get it done. I'm giving you some insight here. I think she can get it done. Okay. But I don't trust it. She's like plus 130. The money's not juicy enough for me to want to throw it down there. If she was like plus 180 or something, I'd do it. But this is a tough fight for her. And she's going for the title right now, so it's gonna be tough. But like they just kept giving me Olga as like an underdog, and just one after another. She just kept knocking them out, just getting the finishes. You know what I mean? She won with a buggy choke in her last fight, like a buggy choke. What in the? And it was her first submission ever. So I'm like, well, that was unexpected. My camera's doing that weird thing again. Whatever, it's gonna be fine. But yeah, dude, Invicta's my jam. They just have them randomly, so whatever. It is what it is. But my favorite promotion outside the UFC is Invicta.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like you said with the landmines last card, like I had parlays and I would like lose both legs, and then the other parlay I would hit both. Like I would either literally hit or miss. So it was a crazy little card last time, but it was still fun, entertaining. But yeah, with this one 303, there's a lot of crazy fights happening and changes. Like Connor was supposed to fight on this card, now it's going to be Pereira, obviously, in Yuri. The fight of what was it supposed to be? Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree is actually now Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. So a lot of fighters canceling, getting hurt, whatever you want to say. And Olberg got hurt too. Khalil's out, and Cody Durden was supposed to fight Carlos Hernandez. So there's some pretty good good fights now. I actually like the main card a lot. I think it's really, really good. And a lot of good fights in the prelims too. So let's go through the chat real quick, and then we'll get started because we got 13 fights. I know last week it was a little early show. We got done like under 2 hours, which was insane. We never do that, but it was only like 11 fights, and I think so many fights were made up on the fly. I think that the Shara Antonio fight like literally just was announced like 20 minutes before we went live last week. So we were like, yeah, we didn't do any breakdowns, but we're gonna pick Shara. So that fight went real quick. But yeah, like I said, we'll go through the chat. Yep. We got Dixon Sider. What's up, man? Johnny Baby. What's up, gang? What's up, Dixon? Appreciate you coming out. Grateful Dude. Appreciate you coming out, man. We got Damari in here. What's up, man? So pumped for the show. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Donnie, root beer man. What's up, Donnie? There will be blood. Let's go. These two sharps. Appreciate you as well. Pick your spots this card. Yeah, there's some good ones. The lines are good too. It's not like you're going to see minus 300s everywhere. A lot of them are pretty reasonable. Some lines are flipped. Some lines look like they may be flipped soon. So you just got to wait your turn. And if you like a fighter, just wait. See what happens. You never know. And then we got Julio. I never lose any of your videos every week. Keep up with that. Greetings for Cuba. Appreciate you coming out, Julio, hanging out with us and having a drink too. I see you in the picture if you're having one. I'm having a drink as well. Let's go.
All the way from Cuba. Look at that.
All
Johnny.
The way from Cuba. I like it. We're international here at Defend Your Units.
have you like seen just like photos of Cuba? How it looks like it would be like the early 1960s here?
Yeah.
It's
awesome.
Crazy, dude.
I've never been there, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, I've never been. It does look awesome. I wouldn't want to go there. Like, no offense to Julio. Like, Cuba's probably all right, but like, I don't feel like it's super favorable to Americans.
True.
But at the same time, like, it looks super cool. You're like, dude, it's like a time machine. So
yeah, and there's like a whole bunch of like 1950s and 60s cars that are like restored and look like immaculate from the 60s. So cool. You're like, dang, it's awesome.
I saw some of the cars, that's for sure.
For sure. But let's go with the first fight. Ricky Simón versus Vinicius Oliveira, which is an interesting fight to start the night off. It's a very good fight. What do you like? Who do you like here and why?
So I think this is a tough spot for Oliveira, honestly. I think Ricky Simón's a really big step up from Bernardo Sopaj.
Oh, yeah.
Or Sopaj, however you say it. And I mean, I don't mean to like play MMA math, but I mean, Sopaj was able to take him down quite a bit on short notice. And Ricky Simón is not the type of guy that is going to struggle with takedowns if some dude off the regionals on short notice is doing it. You know what I mean? Like, not that Sopaj is bad, but like Ricky Simón is really good. And I know he's coming off of a couple of losses, but like they're to high level competition. And I do think Oliveira has a path. It's win with the knockout or maybe even a submission. Because he is dangerous in the submission game as well. But I mean, like Ricky Simón should win pretty much every bit of the fight, and except for a moment where he loses, if he does lose. So I think Simon's aside. The line's getting close to where it should be. I think Simón minus 300 is probably accurate, but I think it's just a shade under that right now. So
yeah, it's like minus 250 or a little bit lower. You can find it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I mean, like, I just don't see where Oliveira wins outside of a knockout or submission, just like out of nowhere type of thing. Because I mean, Ricky Simón is just, I mean, he should be leaps and bounds better, right? I mean, unless he's really on the downward spiral and we just haven't quite caught on yet. It's Ricky Simón all day for me, but you know, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, same with me. I'm on Ricky here. You know, I was doing the tape and I'm like, man, I mean, Oliveira has a chance. Like you said, he's got the knockout power. He can land something crazy like a knee. He can land like a spinning elbow, something like that. But I mean, if you really like think about it and sit down and like think of it like logically, if you want to say like, this is Ricky's fight to lose. Like he's got the massive advantage in the wrestling department. He can get the takedowns. If Oliveira had a little bit better takedown defense, maybe I would think a little bit more about it. Maybe picking him as an underdog at like plus 200 or even throwing a little bit of money. But I mean, it's really hard because Oliveira's only path to victory here, I think, is by knockout. I don't think he can win. I don't think he can win a decision. I think Simón is more so the minute winner here. Maybe even Simón can get a submission maybe later in the fight, maybe wear down Oliveira on the mat, and then he's kind of just maybe gives up a little bit and get the head and arm choke. But Yeah, Simone's wrestling's really, really good. He's fought really, really good guys lately, which is why he lost 2 in a row. I mean, do you think? I mean, it'll be a fun fight, but Mario Batista versus Oliveira, I don't think he wins that fight, and I don't think Oliveira's beating Yadong Song either. So, be a fun
I mean,
fight,
yeah,
but I don't
it'd be
think he's
similar.
gonna win.
It'd be the same thing where like he could win if he lands the big because the dude's got death power, like just put you out power. So like it'd be the same thing against Simone. Like if he fought either of those two guys, like if he just lands the shot, like yeah, you might win, but like run the fight 100 times, probably not that many of them.
True. Yeah, and I think this fight goes over, or if you want to say by decision, just because I do think Simone wins. Now, if you think Oliveira is going to win, maybe you can do the under. I think Simone can get a submission later in the fight, though, but probably not early. And I think he can hold his own on the feet as well, Simone. But I would say the better striker, more dangerous striker is Oliveira. But I don't think it's going to be on the feet for too long. Let's put it that way.
So, okay. So the question I have though is Oliveira has been finished in at least 2 of his losses.
I think
right?
all 3 actually.
All 3, yeah.
I think they're all by knockout too.
Yeah, I mean, and Simone could knock him out. I mean, dude hits pretty hard. He could also do it on the ground.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, I think just the easiest path to victory for Simone is get this fight to the mat. I think he's going to be able to control him. You're just playing with fire if you're on the feet. So, and we've seen Simone, like, he can get clipped, but I don't know. Just something about this fight where I'm like, this is a good bounce back spot for him. The styles make the fights for him. I think, Oliveira is going to be in for a long night, but not to say that he can't do it. This isn't a lock by any means, but it's just it's going to be a very hard fight for him.
Yeah. And I also, look, I go back and forth on whether I think it'll help him or hurt him is that Oliveira's hands are just like way low. Like,
yeah,
it might help him with the takedown defense, but it sure doesn't help him with defending punches. And I mean, yeah,
it's only going to help him maybe for the first couple takedowns, though, too. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, Ricky doesn't just go for one takedown, and if he doesn't get it, he's like, oh, I guess I'm screwed. No, he's going to keep going and going and going and going.
Except for in the Song fight.
Yep.
Where he just kind of
I'm wondering. Yeah, that's an interesting point, because I was thinking about that, too, in that fight. I was like, why isn't he going for more takedowns? But maybe he was tired, too, because that was his first 5-round fight.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That one really, I don't know. That one made me question whether or not he was on the downhill slide or something.
True. But I mean, you can also look at it this way too. Do you think Yadong Song was on the up? Maybe he improved because he is what is he at? Alpha male? Is that right?
Yeah, he's definitely improving. That's for sure.
Maybe he's improving, and Ricky was like, "Shit, I didn't expect this." So
yeah, that could be too.
It could be one of those.
This fight will tell us a lot about where Ricky Simone is in his career at this point.
Yeah,
so
I agree. We got BC Dave in the house. What's up, BC Dave? What's up, MMA bitches? What's up, man? Negative striking for Simone. Volume goes to Oliveira for sure. Ground game cancels out. You think so? You really putting money on Simone? I don't blame anybody. Actually, you got to throw him in a parlay, though. You can't just I wouldn't bet him straight, but Oliveira, it could be. Could be. He has to survive. I just think if the fight gets to the mat, I think it's going to be Simone on top wearing him down. I don't know if Oliveira is going to be able to get up too many times. Let's put it that way. We got parlays. What we got, people? We'll get to there. Jay. Midget loses first fight. We got real fight picks. It's obvious. Brendan for the win. Yeah. I think is he fighting?
So real fight picks, real quick. Real fight picks, dude. Check out after this, obviously stay with this stream, but after this, go check out the stream I did yesterday with Cody Dank. We talked about that fight. I think you were actually there. Double check on that because Brendan could just decide to, call it a day if he starts getting any adversity because he's already locked the playoffs and he's already clinched his spot. Yeah. So I could see him just taking it easy. So I wouldn't be so confident on laying a minus 550 on him when he doesn't need to win this fight to win the million.
Yeah, he might just try to survive, and maybe he ends up losing a very close split decision or something like that because he just doesn't put enough effort or whatever.
Taps out the first time any adversity happens.
That's true too. If you're already in the playoffs, who cares? You don't want to get hurt. That's the thing.
It's not like he's protecting an undefeated record. Who cares?
True.
I'm that million.
We got CJ in the house. What's up, CJ? What's up, guys? We got Ryan in here. What's up, Ryan? Two of my favorite dudes. This card is straight fuego, boys and girls. It's gonna be a great time. Yes, sir. Let's see. We got SK in here. Yo, everybody, you think Connor's showing up as a fan for UFC 203? If he does, that would be hilarious. I'll tell you that. And UFC would probably be pissed. You guys gonna hate my pick for the main? Really? We'll see. I don't blame anybody for picking whoever they like. I don't blame. The crown clouds people's fighting, especially new. Yep, that's true. Next fight we got, if my computer would back up, we got Carlos Hernandez versus the newcomer Ray Tsuruya. I'll say that. Yeah, this is an interesting fight. Obviously, Tsuruya is going to be making his UFC debut. He's a very good grappler with very good submissions, good takedowns as well. Very good cardio to do all of that for all 3 rounds. His striking is just, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but he's more so the grappler guy, like very slick on the mat. I never really watched the Road to UFC. I don't know if you do, Tyler, like live, because it's too early for me. I ain't gonna stay up or wake up early. No, I'm not doing that. But I watch a couple of his fights though. Slick. This guy's slick. Hernandez though, well-rounded guy. He doesn't really do anything amazing, but he's not terrible anywhere. But good striking, good grappling. He is normally tough and durable. I know he got knocked out by Tatsuro in his last fight, but that was a pretty good shot right down the middle, and he just folded a little bit. But good cardio. Just a solid fighter all around. But I'm just gonna, I'm gonna go with the newcomer. I usually don't, but this guy's like if this fight gets to the mat, which I do think it will, like he's gonna be winning every position, and he can get the reversals. I think he can lock up a submission eventually. Probably later in the fight. I think this fight is going to be a little slow in the beginning, but I think as the fight goes on, I think Tatsuro, or I want to say Tatsuro, but Tsuruya is going to probably put on the grappling a little bit more and wear him down a bit. So I'm going to go with Tsuruya to get the submission, probably rounds 2 or 3. I like that look. What do you think about it?
So real quick, before we go to the breakdown, I'm going to help you out here, Johnny. Okay. It's Ray Tsuruya, and it's like the word tsunami. So are you familiar with the word tsunami? How it has like the weird T in front of it?
Yeah.
Tsuruya. It's just like tsunami. So I got you, brother.
Got it. Thank you. I'm terrible with names.
Dude. Okay, I'm not good with most of them. Like I'm good. Okay, I'm good with certain like dialects of names. Mm-hmm. I'm usually okay with the Japanese names. I'm okay with those. I struggle hard with like French names. So like,
I'm actually okay with those.
Yeah, dude. Like even in my comments on my video, like so Marc-Andre Barriault, I think is how you say it, but like everybody's telling me that's not quite right.
Barriault.
So like we'll get to that one in a bit. Like, I'm not good with the French names, but like I got the Japanese names down. I'm usually pretty good with the Russian names if I've had a little practice, but yeah, some are easier than others. But Tsuruya is basically it's similar to tsunami. So anybody that's like thinking like trying to like remember how to say it right, just think tsunami.
Now I want to say like Jason Derulo, like Derulo.
Right. I don't even know what to make of this, Johnny. I don't know.
I'm just going off tangent now.
What I do know is that Ray Tsuruya is going to win this fight. Like the dude is good. His win over Mark Climaco on the road to UFC impressed the heck out of me because that guy was the favorite to win the whole gosh darn thing. Mark Climaco was. Like people were like, it's a foregone conclusion. This guy's going to win this, no problem. And the way Tsuruya went out there and manhandled him in the first 2 rounds and like was able to beat him in the 3rd round, but manhandled him in the first 2 rounds was just incredible. Because Mark Climaco can wrestle. Like that guy's good. And like it's one of those things where like the guy that trains in the United States is the guy that everybody had favored to win. So that's interesting. But yeah, Ray Tsuruya is legit, dude. Like he's actually pretty good. His grappling's really good. I have no idea how good his striking is though. So that's a problem. So you gotta take it for what it's worth. Like he could go out there and just get like destroyed on the feet until he gets a takedown. I don't think so. I think his grappling threat is going to make the striking hesitant from Hernandez because I don't like if you're afraid of getting taken down, you don't really want to commit to your shots on the feet with your strikes.
True. Because you don't want to be too aggressive and overcommit because you're going to be taken down. Yeah. 100%.
If you still throw a big heavy punch, that's one hand that's not defending the takedown, but also that's the spot where they can duck under and get the takedown. I think Tsuruya gets it done. I haven't decided if I think he gets the sub or the decision. A TKO is possible, but Hernandez is really tough. So it'd have to be one of those where like he's just in a spot where he can't really move and is getting hit. Because I feel like if he can move, Hernandez is moving. The dude's tough.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's just gonna like allow himself to be KO'd. So it'd have to be one like kind of like a crucifix or something.
I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know if you're lagging a bit or if it's me, but just a touch.
But I feel like it's probably
okay. I don't know if you lagged out or not. Are you there?
Where did I lose you? Yeah,
okay.
I'm back.
Do like the last like three sentences. There you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, submission or decision is the pick.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
You're like getting right there, and I'm like, am I lagging?
So we had some really gnarly storms here in Omaha last night, and like half the city doesn't have power, and the other half doesn't have internet, and like. I'm at my girlfriend's place and she has internet, but like it's being weird right now. I couldn't do it from my house because like my internet's terrible. So, but yeah, we're doing what we can.
We'll make do. No big deal. Like I said, it's fine. We got Vegas Mikey. What's up, man? Pablo Trash took all my money and he a sure thing. I like your sidekick love, the old school white boy. There you go. 138 is almost legend. What happened to Burt MMA? I think he's still around, right? I haven't talked to him in a while.
So Bert's a nice guy, but it's hard to watch his videos because he does that weird voice thing, and like it's so tough, man. It's so like he's a really nice guy. I don't mean to say anything mean about him. Like I've never actually met him, but like everybody always says how nice he is. But man, I can't watch it for more than a minute or two, and I'm just like, man, I got to turn this off. But
we had him on a show a couple times. He doesn't really do the voice on the show, but like for his done he does it. But he's very knowledgeable though.
And like he didn't do the voice. But when he does his own show, he does the voice. I'm like, oh, you gotta stop doing this, dude.
I'll have to message him and see if he wants to come on. I know he stopped for a bit because he was doing a lot of stuff like wrestling.
Like a high score?
Yeah. But he was like wrestling and doing like crazy amounts of wrestling. It's like I don't even know if I'm doing like I don't know how much I could do. I'm like, well, let me know. Ride or die with MVP. MVP is old. We got Hernandez round 3 KO decision. It could happen. Who do you like for the co-main? Feels a layup for Japan here, new market. I think that's probably how they're hoping for it to go. Let's put it that way. Let's see, does everybody's talking? We got Patrick from Addicted to Combat. What is up, my dude? He said Cody looks a lot more sober this week. He's sober as a bird.
100%. Stone cold sober.
Appreciate you coming out, Patty. It was fun hanging out with you in Louisville. We'll have to do it again in Chicago area. And MVP years behind Ian Garry. Yeah. I mean, obviously, logistically, he is. He's like 12 years behind him. But, or in front, I should say, whatever you want to look at it that way. Next one, Andre Arlovski versus Martin Buday. Who do you like here in this sloppy heavyweight fight?
Okay, Johnny. So here's the thing. I'm gonna ask you a hypothetical question, and then I'll give you my breakdown.
Okay.
So let's say this fight goes to decisions, and you hear the scorecards being read, and it starts off with judge number 1 scores this fight. What's the first thing you think just happened?
Well, a split for one.
Okay.
Elaborate. And then probably Buday wins.
No, get out of here. If it's a split decision, that's going to Arlovski. I'm taking Andre Arlovski one more.
Not lately.
Road. He's doing it. He's going to do one more. Buday's not that good.
I know that.
Low output. We're in the big cage. Arlovski can circle as much as he needs to and just throw his little leg kicks and just move and move and move. Buday's not going to – he's not quick. Sure, if he hits him, he's probably going to drop him. But, like, we've seen Arlovski do this many a time. How close was that fight against Acosta? It was pretty close. Like, it was close enough that you were like, yeah, I mean, kind of like he made it close. And I think Acosta's way better than Buday. I mean, and it's not like Acosta's like amazing. I mean, he's better than Buday. So to me, I gotta take Arlovski. Like, I don't. I mean, this is what he does, man. He wins these split decisions. That's what he does. I know he's on like a 3-fight skid or whatever, but like, is Buday that guy? Like, is Buday better than some of the other guys that Arlovski's beaten these split decisions? I don't think so.
I mean, it's debatable. Let's put it that way. You could debate.
And like, did Buday even try to win his last fight? Like, I'm convinced he didn't try. Like, he just started. He didn't even. He just like after the first couple of strikes landed, he just kind of. I don't want to say he like quit in the sense that like he just like gave up and like turtled up or anything, but like he didn't really try to win. He was just trying to exist throughout the fight, and the ref saw it and was like, "Nah, dude." But like, he didn't like roll over and give up, but he didn't try to win. He was just trying to survive the rounds, and that's. I mean, if he doesn't, he's not going to out volume Arlovski. So if we go to a decision, I think it's going to Arlovski. He just has to survive. I don't know. I'm taking Arlovski. I don't care what anybody says. They can hate it all they want. I've got so much crap in my comments already about it. Everybody's like, "Oh, I can't even take you serious." Like, people take this stuff way too serious. They can't take me serious because I picked Arlovski. Like, whatever, dude. Like, watch him pull up and win this, and then. Yeah, or if he loses, so what? Like, a split decision call on Arlovski is like, how many times has this guy won us decision props, right? I mean, how many times? I know he's won me I mean, maybe not a dozen, but at least a good 4 or 5. So, okay, we're gonna do one more for the road. Like, he's gonna get it. He's gonna ride off into the sunset. Arlovski split decision. I'm calling it now. It's what's happening, right?
All right. I don't hate it. I'm just on the other side. Like, I get what you're saying though, but like the Arlovski that you're thinking of is 43-year-old Arlovski.
Oh, get out of here. He's not that. He's 45.
I know, but 45-year-old Arlovski, he's got 5 minutes of cardio, and then his volume tanks. He's surviving.
That was when he got over the round.
Well, I haven't seen him fight during then, so I'm just going by what I see.
Watch him come in juice to the gills, brother.
Well, like you said, he could be. Like you said in the Waldo fight, like, he did look good early, but then he was fading and he couldn't keep up with the volume. I think Buday can hold him up against the cage. He's going to be the bigger guy, and that's what he does well. That's the only thing that I can say that Buday does well, is holding up people against the cage and doing the dirty boxing and the knees. Because Arlovski's not going to outmuscle any of these heavyweights. He's going to have the better footwork early, but then he even slows down and he just doesn't move his head and he gets clipped all the time. I'm not saying there's going to be a huge knockout, but I just think, more times than not, this fight's probably going to go to decision. I think Buday is going to win, though. I just don't believe in 45-year-old Arlovski right now. I think he is slowing down by the minute. And I think, not to say Buday's good. He's actually booty. He's terrible. But I think this is a fight he can win. And I think he gets it done. I'm going to say by decision.
He just has to win 1.5 rounds. If he wins 1.5 rounds, the judges are taking it.
I think he could potentially win 1 round, and it's the first. But what if he doesn't win the first round? And then you're going to be like, well, crap. there was his chance.
Decision, Arlovski won. That's okay. What
we'll see. We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, then again, like, who knows? Like, who knows? But
I don't like picking Martin Buday. I will say that right now. I hope Arlovski wins. I just don't see it. I'm in my heart of hearts, I want him to win.
Me too. So bad.
But my gut and my brain outnumbered my heart, and I'm like, gotta pick Buday.
I get it. I think pretty much everybody's picking Buday. I've seen one other person pick Arlovski, and like, that's it. So it's not like I'm the crazy one, not you, Johnny. Don't worry.
Well, if Arlovski had like a little bit more power, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have the power anymore. He slows down. It's just like, there's just nothing. You just you're literally hoping for him to make it 15 minutes and to literally win a split decision, because that's how he's going to win. No other way. No other way. So
that's exactly what I'm hoping for.
So if you're going to bet Arlovski, bet him to win by split decision. That's his only path to victory in this fight.
Yeah, at least decision. Like, a decision's got to be like at least +4 something, right? It's got to be.
Think. What is he now? Like +2 200, 250 range.
Something like that.
Yeah. Fat Marty Buday had a weird belly crease shaped like a 5-gallon bag of milk, and it pisses me off. I guess he used to weigh like over 350 pounds or even more than that at one point. So it might be the extra skin or something. Arlovski gets handicapped parking at arena, has an ambulance on standby. That's true. And I have noticed like whenever Arlovski gets finished, whatever fights, like the ref stops it right away. Like he does not let him get damaged at all. He's like, no, we're protecting him. So that could be something too to look at. We got Nate in here. What's up, Nate? He said, let's go. Tyler and Johnny for the win. Let's go. I bet Andre already. Hopefully it's by decision. That's how he wins. The extra 25 won't mean a thing. Up against the cage and pushing him will.
Tim, he's got to catch him first. Like, Orlovski's going to run around this dude for 15 minutes.
But that's only going to gas out Arlovski.
Buday's going to gas out too, man. They're just going to be too tired.
It's going to be a sloppy heavyweight fight. Whatever. That's what I can guarantee this, guys. It's going to be sloppy.
It's going to be real sloppy.
UFC PI keeps a full stock of ultra stretch Bengay on hand for that's true. I'm with Tyler Martin and shit. He is. He's booty. He's booty. Booty is a bum, so Arlovski plus 3.5. I don't mind that.
It's good. Can you get that at plus money still? Is that plus money?
You might be able to. I know on DraftKings it's not out yet, but I'm pretty sure you
I thought I was going to get plus money on the plus 3.5 on Daniel Rodriguez last week, but like it was minus 140 while he was like a plus 200 underdog.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like what are you saying? So
I can see Buday getting a takedown, maybe.
Could.
Maybe later in the fight when he's slowing down, he's like, I gotta get a takedown because I need to take some time off. Yeah, Andre. Yeah, I mean, I get it from both sides. I do think this fight goes to decision one way or another, though. Next one we got is gonna be where are we at? Michelle Waterson-Gomez versus Jillian Robertson. Interesting fight. Oh, Waterson's pretty well-rounded. She's getting up there a little bit, 38 years old. I think she's lost like 4 in a row. So one fight, though, I will say the Luana fight was very close. Very close. And I actually thought she might have won that fight, but it is what it is. But I mean, she's good everywhere. She's got good striking. She's gonna fight for your money. She's durable, good cardio. If she gets finished, like she's bleeding, she's bloody, she's badly hurt, like she's not gonna just quit on anything, man. But Robertson, very, very, very good grappler, good submissions. Her striking isn't the greatest. I do like the when she goes down to strawweight, I do like that move. It's better for her. She's fighting smaller girls. She can never get a takedown in flyweight. Now she can at least muscle a takedown because she is pretty strong at strawweight. But she's still hittable on the feet. She's going to not have the most speed in this division, but she is going to be a little bit stronger, and she's very good grappler, like I said. So to me, it just depends on where this fight takes place. If it takes place on the ground, it's going to be Robertson all day. If this fight takes place on the feet, it's going to be a closer fight for sure. And both girls are durable. They fight for your money. They're not going to get out of there. But I just think Robertson's going to get this fight to the mat eventually. And I do think she'll get the submission probably later in the fight. I think the over-under was set at, is it set at 1.5 or was it 2? It might have been 2. It's at 2.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. So, I mean, that half a round's going to be a little dicey, but most of the time, both these fighters, they do go over 1.5 rounds. And I just see a finish from Jillian. I think her grappling it's too good in this fight. Waterson needs to survive on the feet and not get taken down at all. Otherwise, I do think she does get a submission eventually. So give me Jillian by submission. I'll say like second or third round. What do you think?
So we're gonna talk through some stuff here. So
okay,
in the last 7 fights, Michelle Waterson has 1 win, and that was over Angela Hill. But if you watch that fight back, Angela Hill won that fight. So realistically, in the last 7 fights, Waterson hasn't gotten a win, or at least a credible win. Like sure. You could argue she beat Luana, but like that one was at least really close.
Very close.
I don't think it was close against Hill. I thought Hill clearly won.
No, I thought Hill won because I remember having a bet on Hill, and I'm like, no.
Yeah,
but if you go back and watch all of Hill's split decisions, she probably won at least half of them.
I'd give or take. Yeah, I mean for sure. So for Waterson, okay, so in her last 7 fights, arguably she hasn't won any of them. You might be able to give her one of them that she lost on paper. However, okay, we saw that. We take that for what it is. Okay, we got Jillian Robertson, who's now down at strawweight, was a flyweight, now down at strawweight. She's going up against Michelle Waterson, who should be an atomweight, but is fighting at strawweight because they don't have an atomweight division in the UFC. I can't imagine that the atomweight is going to stop takedowns from the former flyweight, even if she's muscling these takedowns. Like I think Robertson's going to get her to the mat, and she only really has to do it twice, I guess. If Waterson can survive, Waterson's tough. I'll give her that. She's not a bad grappler either. People just think because her name's the Karate Hottie that she can't grapple. She can grapple pretty good. Not as good as Robertson. Robertson's a very good grappler, but especially at strawweight when she's also going to have a size advantage. I think Robertson's just going to cut through her. It's Waterson's too old now, and she wouldn't be too old if she hadn't just taken a ton of damage
lately, especially.
Like she's taken a lot.
The Rodriguez fight, that was
all of her fights.
nasty.
She's bloody, cut up, beat up. Like it's a wonder that her face.
You're cutting out a little bit. And
I'm back.
Okay, you're cut out completely. If you hear me, you're back. I can hear you. You're good.
We're back. Are we back?
You're good.
Jeez, this internet's going to drive me crazy. Either way, point is, Waterson's taking a ton of damage. I don't think she can beat Robertson at this point in her career. I think Robertson's getting her down, and I think she's going to get a TKO because I think the ref's going to want to step in and say, this girl's taking too much. I'm tired of seeing this girl's face look as red as Robertson's hair, and we're going to call it here. So I think Robertson's getting a TKO, and I think she's going to get it done probably end of the first round, early second round. Either the first or second takedown she gets, she's just going to bludgeon her. Hit her with the elbows. Waterson's going to do good enough defending the submissions to just eat shots. That's my prediction.
I like it. Yeah, I do think there's going to be a finish. I mean, obviously, I'll probably just go with the safer pick with the sub, but inside the distance, it's probably not even a bad price. What is it? Let me see.
When I bet inside the distance was plus 155.
Yeah, I would take that all day.
Yeah. I also bet the TKO though. So
how much was that?
I was like plus 800 or 900. Something. I think 800.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, she cashed for me in her last one with a TKO at plus 950. So
yep, that's true. Let's see what everyone says. If they say anything, Waterson needs to join a pickleball league at this point. Yeah. I mean, she's still a good fighter. It's just, I think she needs to fight like up and like new fighters to give them a little bit of a test. Like she shouldn't be fighting Jillian, who's already like a veteran in a way. She's fought a lot of different styles of people. And yeah, she's good. A good grappler. So just depends. Jumbo Loco, what's up, guys? Many good lines this week. I agree. I think there's a lot of good money lines that we can attack instead of parlaying all the time or finding the weird props and try to make it plus money. But some of these money lines are really good this week. Next fight we got, it's going to be Peyton Talbott versus Ghemmouri. And yeah, Peyton Talbott is probably more than likely going to win this fight because he's very, very good. And I don't think Ghemmouri is all that great. It was a questionable stoppage against Waterson-Gomez, but he was losing the fight. I mean, if you look at it, he was losing that fight until that happened. But yeah, Talbot, like he's just that guy. He just pushes forward. He's just going to come at you, and you just have to take it. Like it's a weirdest, like one of those guys. He's maybe like a few select people can do this. Like just hunt you down, keep going forward, and like have this like aura around you. It's like, I'm gonna get you eventually, and you have nothing to do about it. And like you could tell in his face, he's like, I'm just gonna knock you out. Well, you want to do it now or later? Like one of the two. Just Ghemmouri is not dangerous enough for me. He does have pretty good kicks. He is a pretty decent technical kickboxer. He doesn't really have the wrestling, even though he can try to wrestle, but he's not really a wrestler. So he's not going to stop Peyton that way. He might stop him a little bit at bay at first, maybe with the front kicks or something like that. But I think eventually he's going to tire out, and Talbot's going to be able to find work the body, maybe do some knees and stuff like that, and get him out of there. Probably second or third round knockout, I'm going to say. So like, I don't want to say that I'm like super, super high on Peyton. I do think there's going to come a time where he's going to have a very tough opponent, but this isn't it at all. And it might not look as good as he did in his last fight, but I think he's still going to get a finish. So, Talbot by knockout, second or third. What do you think?
Yeah. So I agree with the third for sure, because although I know a lot of people are down on Ghemmouri, because he got kicked in the nuts and TKO'd somehow. But like,
very true.
He's a good striker, and
He
he's
is.
really good at slowing the fight down. And I know that Talbot's really, like, the dude's a Terminator. That's what he just is, a Terminator.
Yep.
And I like that about him. But like, it's one of those. Cat coming in the screen here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, kitty.
Hey there, buddy. All right. So it's one of those things where like, Talbot is the type of guy that can just keep coming forward, walk you down like the T-1000, like the liquid metal Terminator from Terminator 2, if you remember. That's Peyton Talbot, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also find it hilarious that it just really annoys the heck out of him with all these like comparisons to Sean O'Malley, or like people talking about like his aura and stuff like that. Like, he hates that stuff because he's not that type of guy. Get out of my bag, dude. He hates that type of stuff. So it's hilarious to me that people just are always doing it. So that's funny. But yeah, dude, I think he's the real deal. I think he's very skilled. I do think at some point he's gonna have to change his style, because you can't just eat shots for like forever. But I don't think he has to worry about it at this point in his career. I think Ghemmouri's a good striker, and I think he can slow the fight down. And I think it's going to take a little bit longer, because in the Cameron Simon fight, Cameron's the type of guy that's just going to start fast and like, we're doing this thing. Whereas Ghemmouri is the type of guy to, try to keep it range, try to kind of point fight a little bit, slow the pace. And although Talbot's going to be trying to initiate, it's not like you got two guys trying to initiate at the same time and you just get a clash. Yeah. Instead, you got one guy coming forward and the other guy backing off and trying to do what he needs to do at range. So I think we're going to probably get late finish. I'm going to say third round TKO, but it's going to take a while. And I think the first round is going to be pretty uneventful. It's going to be a lot of just the early scenes of Terminator 2. Where, yeah. A lot of like back and then circle, just like that. Yep. That's what we're going to see. It's going to be the villains chasing down the helpless people before he kills them, and he's just walking at them because he doesn't need to run. He just walks until he eventually catches you. So that's what we're going to get. Talbot's probably going to get him in the third round.
Right on. Yeah, I agree. I see Waterson cornering BKFC scrubs, never on the winning side, much like Trevor Whitman. Does she corner fighters? Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that. Talbot said the key to someone beating him is leg kicks. Interesting.
Ghemmouri's got a decent leg kick.
He does. He does have pretty good kicks. I don't know if he did, like, it's more so like body kicks, like a kick. Like
his front kicks to the body those are.
So we'll see what he does. It'll be interesting, but like I said, I think this isn't the fight, obviously, to fade him or Peyton, but I think there will come a time. Obviously, there always comes a time for everybody. So
I don't know if we're going to see it for a while. Like,
I don't think so. I think they're slow. They're doing well with him, and they're gradually up.
Well, even some of the better competition, like, he's a hard style unless you can match his pressure and like,
or you have
like
very good wrestling and cardio.
Even then, the dude is just hard to hold down. Like, you take him down and he just bounces back up. So like, you'd have to like Merab style, like, shoot a ton of takedowns. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, somebody like that could do it.
True.
But I think it's gonna be hard. Like, you'd have to be somebody with really good top pressure to hold this guy down, because I mean, he's fought people that are good wrestlers, good grapplers, and they've struggled to just keep him on the mat. He just gets back up. Like, sure, they'll take him back down, but he gets back up, and it wears you out trying to do it. Cortez on the Contender Series tried to take him down a few times and just got right back up.
Yep.
Tried to match him pressure for pressure, and that didn't work. So,
man, Cortez. Speaking of Cortez, man, he got a rough go at the Contender Series, didn't he? With 2 hard fights.
He's not
like
even
the
bad.
hardest
He's a pretty good fighter.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Just like,
he's just like, man, you're gonna give me Peyton. Who was the other fighter that he fought that was really good? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh gosh, now that you asked me,
but I know he was good though, and you're like, damn, this guy's really good. He's had a tough luck there. We'll look it up here. So the next one we'll go up to is Charles Jourdain versus Gene Silva. Very, very fun fight. Who do you think is going to win this one? What do you see after you're done searching? Because I'm interested.
Hold up. I'm pulling it up. It was Christian Rodriguez. That was the other one. Duh.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean, he's good.
Christian Rodriguez and Peyton Talbott.
He missed weight too.
Dude. Yeah. Yep. Dude, that's a rough go in the Contender Series. So
true.
Yeah. And Cortez only has 3 losses in his career. That's 2 of them. So I mean, it's like the dude's. Hopefully, they give him another shot eventually. But third time's the charm. I mean, how many times was Jamie Pickett on the Contender Series? You know,
at least twice.
But anyway, I think 3 times. I think it was 3 times for Pickett. I think it was his 3rd time for about a minute.
I'll look it up.
But for this fight, Jourdain, I think is how you say it. But gosh, guys,
Jourdain.
I think it's Jourdain. Like Dawn, like I think it's
no, it's Jourdain.
Dawn.
It's Jourdain.
Whoever
you're trying to French it up a little too much. It's Jourdain.
Or whatever. I'm pretty sure. Okay, somebody from Canada that has like that French Canadian-ness to them. Let me know it like phonetically spell that out for me, would you? But anyway,
it's Jourdain.
He so for John Silva, he's good, right? But like this is a massive step up in competition for him. And I know everybody likes what they've seen from him so far. He's good, but is he really ready for this? Like this is the same guy that Jourdain or Jourdain, whatever you want to call him. This is the same guy that was like getting close fights with Shane Burgos, close fights with Sean Woodson. Like Sean Woodson beats the brakes off of John Silva. You know what I mean? And like I'm not saying like MMA math works. Like don't get me wrong, but you can use that. Like if you can't use it at all, it's hard to like why even watch tape, you know what I mean? So you have to be able to do some comparisons. I think for John Silva, this is just going to be too much of a step up for him, and I think Jourdain, we'll say Jourdain just for the sake of this stream, we'll say Jourdain. I think Jourdain gets it done probably in the 3rd round after he just breaks the will of John Silva, who is going to come out there and he's going to try to come forward with his pressure, his like bully style, which is a great style, but like I don't think that's going to intimidate a guy like Charles Jourdain. And I think he's gonna run into somebody who can match him on the output, who can match him, head to head. I think he's gonna run into some trouble. And I think in the 3rd round, I think the person that's gonna come out on top, because Jourdain always has those amazing 3rd rounds. I think this is one. I think we're gonna see another one here, and I think it's just gonna be too much for John Silva in this fight. So I haven't bet it yet, but like he's tiptoeing on being plus money, and if you give me plus money on him, I might throw a little bit on it. So give me Jourdain in this one, though. I think it's too much of a step up for Silva.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. If that fight does get to plus money for Jourdain, I don't blame you for jumping on it. But I think this fight's gonna end up playing out very close. And
sure.
Jourdain is a slow starter. And that's what worries me the most is he doesn't really get going until like later in the 2nd round. And then he starts to find his volume. And then he starts doing really good. And you're like, oh, this is the fighter that I remember. And like, he's done some bad fight IQ moments here and there, but some of the fights that, went to split, I actually didn't think he was close to going to split. I think with the Woodson fight, I think Woodson won clearly that fight. I don't know why it went to split. But for whatever reason, man, he fights fights way too close for me. I know he beat Crone Gracie, but that fight was just disgusting. I don't even want to rewatch that fight because that's how bad it was. And I remember it, and it was just awful. But the Ricardo Ramos fight, good win from him, but Ramos was very weird in that fight. Kind of made a stupid decision, got guillotine choked. The Lando fight, again, Lando made a weird decision and tried to grapple with him and ended up getting guillotined and his pants taken off too. So if you look at all the wins, like, I mean, I don't want to like poo-poo them by any means by Jourdain, but like bad fight IQ moments from the fighters that he won with. Now, if you're looking at and he has fought the better competition, but with Gene though, like I do think he's got good fight IQ. Yeah, this is a step up in competition, but I like his striking. I don't think he's going to try to grapple with Jourdain, which that might get him in trouble. So if this fight plays out on the feet, I like Gene a little bit more than Silva. He's got more power, I believe. I think he'll land the harder shots. I think he'll start out better than Jourdain. Now, what does worry me a bit with this fight, though, is the longer the fight goes, it's probably going to favor Jourdain, like you said. I like him in Jourdain in the third round. So I think this fight really it just, whoever wins round 2 for me is probably going to win this fight. I see Silva winning rounds 1. I see Jourdain probably winning round 3 if it gets that far. It's just who wins round 2. Like, that's going to be the deciding round here. So I don't blame anybody for getting plus money on any fighter in this fight, because I do think it's going to be very close. But I'm just going to go with Gene to get this one done, only because I think he's going to do a little bit more early. And I do think he can land the harder shots. And I don't think there's going to be any grappling to where Jourdain can have an opportunity to wrap up like a guillotine choke, which he does have a very good guillotine. So other than that, it's going to be a fun fight, though. I do think so. I'm just going to go with the plus money. I was able to get plus money, so I jumped on it. I do think it's going to be a very close fight, though. Let's see how many KOs this card. Interesting. Let's see. I would say at least
2,
3. The main events, there's going to be a KO for sure.
Yeah, at least 3. I'll say 3. Yeah, you're right.
I do think there's going to. I guess it just Peyton Talbott, I think, is going to get a knockout.
I think we're going to get more knockouts than we expect. Actually, I'm thinking like 4 now. Now that 4, maybe 5.
I could see 3 or 4 for sure. Whether they're going to be by like ground and pound or not, though.
Sure, but like 4 or 5 is more likely.
Okay. Yeah, John Anik says the way that Johnny does, Jourdain. Bet all Canadian fighters the next 3 cards. Exit Malak, because that it seems like every fight's getting canceled and rebooked.
Yeah. Are you talking like just out like completely?
You're cutting out a little bit. I think you're catching up though. There you go. You're good.
This is killing me here. Killing me.
What'd you say?
Okay. Good. Are we talking like total, like just complete knockouts when we're talking about knockouts? Or are we talking about like TKOs too?
Yeah, TKOs too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I think we get like 2 completely, like 2 knockout, like cold.
Okay. What's up, Scotty Law? Good evening, gentlemen. Thanks for the show. Appreciate you coming out. We got Jay in here too. Lots of overs this card potentially. I think there could be. The time props that like I like to do, just check this. I do little stats with it. Like I don't see a lot of great spots, but there are some pretty decent ones for overs and unders. But I rather do the money lines. This is the money line card.
I agree. Money line card for sure.
The next fight we got though is going to be Cub Swanson versus Andre Fili, and another interesting fight. I will say this now before I even say who I like in my breakdown. I think the line is wide. I think it's too wide, whoever you like. So very interesting fight. Both these guys you can't really trust, if you want to say. Like Cub Swanson's getting up there. He's 40 years old. Did he win the last fight against Hakeem Dawodu? No, he did not. Fili's getting touched up a little bit too much for my liking, but I do think Fili is a little bit more well-rounded than Cub Swanson. I think he can use some grappling and wrestling, but on the feet, I think Fili's a little bit quicker too now. But Swanson's durable. He's tough. He doesn't like his body kicks or shots. I will say that, but it's just hard to trust Fili's chin at this point. He's getting clipped too much. Whether he's getting knocked out or not, he's always getting dropped at least once in his last few fights. So I'm gonna pick Fili because I do think he can get the wrestling going, but I don't 100% trust him at all. I think the line's wide. I think Swanson, he's more durable. He's just, he's up there in age. He might, he's got good cardio still. It's just, I just don't know if he's gonna have enough. That like the talent is there, but I just can't trust it because Fili's chin's not there enough to trust it. So I don't blame anybody for putting a little bit on Swanson money line. I think it'll be close. But give me Fili. I don't even know how this fight ends. Like, what do you think? This is one I kept going back and forth with, but I'm just going with the younger fighter who I think is a little bit more well-rounded, but I don't trust his durability enough to even bet it.
Yeah. So So this is a tough one. So first, I need to address Scott Lawson's comment down there because that's hilarious.
Here we go.
Scott, I promise you, I have a great accountant and I have all of my 1099s and deductions in order. So don't you worry, brother. But we're gonna hit some stuff. But I promise you, my accountant's fantastic.
There you go.
If you need a recommendation for an accountant in Nebraska, hit me up. Twitter DMs. I got you, brother. But anyway, so for this fight, don't trust my picks on this one because here's the thing. First off, the line is extremely wide. I think this is a close fight. I think it goes to decision. I think we get a good fight. But I'm a huge Andre Fili fan, and like I am just going to pick him. Like I wouldn't pick him against anybody, but like in a fight that I think is remotely close, I'll probably end up taking Fili because I'm a Fili fan, like a big Fili fan. So like I'm kind of biased here, and I could admit it. So yeah, Andre Fili is my pick. I like the guy. I think he's cool as heck. So yeah, but like not to say I don't like Cub Swanson. I'm just a bigger Fili fan, but I think all the value is on the Swanson side because I wouldn't bet Fili at this price. I probably wouldn't bet Fili in this fight just for the fact that I know I'm biased in it. So like I could be clouded, but yeah, I mean all the values on Swanson, but we're going with Andre Fili and we're rooting for him hard because
there you go.
I like the guy.
Do you think this fight goes? You said you think it goes to decision.
Decision.
Okay.
Yep. Definitely. I feel pretty good about the decision on this one.
Cubs Swanson plus 3.5 spread is plus 110.
It's a good spot. It's a good spot right there.
I don't hate that.
Don't hate it
I
at
do
all.
think Swanson can win one round and maybe drop him. You know what I mean? Like, and that'll win you a round immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fili's good at getting dropped. He's real good at that. He'll make you sweat. Good. You're watching the fights and you're like, "Come on, what are you doing, man?"
That Woodson fight, or not Woodson, Woods fight was a good one. They just kept dropping each other back and forth. We got MMA Jesus in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us. We got Any Action Effie. What's up, Effie? Appreciate you as well.
Effie's one of my favorite people in the entire MMA space. So
Effie's all right. No,
go to Effie's channel.
Cool.
All these people that aren't watching Effie's videos, what is wrong with you? This guy's fantastic and puts out great content. Like, I'm not kidding you. I watch his videos like as soon as they pop up. I'm always in the first 10 views this guy gets, unless I'm like in the middle of a live stream, of course. But dude, Effie is fantastic. Go subscribe to his channel immediately. Open it in another tab or like pull it up and just like don't exit this stream, but like on your phone or whatever. But go subscribe right now and thank me later. I had to get that out there.
Any Action Sportscast is where you find him. And he does great hockey picks and UFC as well every week. It's great.
Yeah, he could do less of the hockey stuff would be great, but
you just don't like stick sports.
Yeah, nothing. If they're not like punching and kicking each other, I don't want to watch it.
We got Sweevy Betts in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out as well. Definitely check him out too on Instagram and Twitter. He puts out his bets too every week on a whole bunch of sports too. So if you like that, there you go. For a lot of free stuff there. I bet Fili because of the nickname. I agree.
It's a good name.
All good. It is good. It's a good one. I'll give him that. Let's see where we're at here. I think we might be the main card. Nope, we got one more. Joe Pyfer versus Marc-Andre Barriault. That's how you say it, even though it doesn't look like it. That's Frenching it up a little bit. Who do you like? French? I took French in high school, so like I can kind of like I don't speak it, but I know like the names. I can kind of say it correctly if you want to say. But yeah, who do you like here though? I'll be right back.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess we're kicking this sucker off. Okay. So Marc-Andre Barriault is the type of guy that needs to make a fight close, win a decision up against the cage, doing his thing, landing those like 30 boxing shots. Not at all going to be able to do that against Joe Pyfer. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Joe Pyfer is a world beater. We saw that in the Hermanson fight. That was a big step up for him. It was tough. It was a 5-round fight. But I don't think a guy like Marc-Andre is going to be able to have the game plan and the style to beat a guy like Joe Pyfer. I think Joe Pyfer is going to land a heavy shot and sit him down at least once, maybe twice, probably could even get the knockout. This is one of those fights I could definitely see a knockout coming because Pyfer does hit really hard. I know everybody clowns on him because of like him saying he hits harder than Francis Ngannou or whatever, but like the dude hits hard. Like he legitimately hits really hard. So I could see him just cracking Barriault as he comes in. So for me, I think it's a Pyfer play all day. I think he can mix in takedowns if he wants to. Dude's got an incredibly tight squeeze when he gets like an arm triangle, rear naked choke, like something like that. When he goes for like choke style submissions, dude's got an incredibly tight squeeze. The ground and pound is heavy as heck. Like the dude is power personified. So I think he's going to have more power than the power bar. So power bar's got more energy. He's going to be able to last longer, but he's not going to be able to. I don't think it's going to be enough for him to beat Pyfer. Now I could be wrong. Pyfer could get held up against the cage, but I can't see Barriault being able to hold a guy like Joe Pyfer up against the cage without getting position reversed at all. Like I just can't see it. So for me, it's Pyfer's the play, but I got to talk about my guy Effie down there. So he sent me the thank you. You know what, Effie, you're the man, Effie. So just remember that. We'll see, what does he got? We're gonna be betting wrestling for the Summer Olympics too. Okay, so I can accept wrestling. That's an okay sport. I will give you that. So Effie, if you're betting on the wrestling for the Olympics, I'll tell you on some of those probably. I'm only up on a few of them. I don't watch wrestling as much as I used to, but I'll probably tell you on some of those. Johnny, if you missed it, I picked Joe Pyfer. He probably gets knocked out.
Right on. Yeah, this is I'll be honest too. I think the line's a little wide on this one as well. But I do think I'm more confident in this one though. I do think Pyfer wins, but like Marc-Andre's no bum though. Like if he can survive the first round, I think he's got a pretty decent chance to win by decision because we have seen Joe Pyfer slow down a little bit. He gets a little bit low volume. And maybe Marc-Andre gets some of his wrestling going later in the fight. Like he can wrestle. He's pretty well rounded. Not to say that he, he's not like a chain wrestler or anything like that, but he's pretty durable. He's got good cardio. He tries to break you later in the fight. So I just think the more dangerous guy here is Pyfer. And I think if he can land early in the first round, I think he can knock out Marc-Andre. So, but give me Pyfer to win. I'm not going to bet this fight at all. I need to see a little bit more from Joe. But it's just one of those things. I
took a little stab on Pyfer by knockout at plus 200. I don't know if it's still there, but I was like, that's insane. So
that is pretty crazy, especially he's like minus 285.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still there, but it was there.
I see plus one. It's plus 140 on DraftKings right now. Yeah, but even then, I mean, I think that's his way to win, or it's going to be a very close decision. I'll tell you that. Because Marc-Andre's probably going to win round 3 again
if it gets there.
So we shall see. But yeah, we're on the same page with that one. Facts. Pyfer should get 2 rounds at least. Probably the first 2. Getting reversed in the clinch along the cage got to be so demoralizing.
Yep. It can be for sure. Mm-hmm. It's not fun. It's like I don't know if anybody's been there, but like I've been there, and it's not like up against the cage, like with your back pushing against the cage. It's not fun because like you don't have a lot of power from that position. You're limited. So like if you have one thing straight up like this and something's pushing against it this way, the thing pushing from the straight up position doesn't have the ability, like they don't have as much force. So being against the cage to reverse is actually really, really tough. So when you do that, like, if you get reversed and you're against the cage, the energy that you have to spend to then reverse yet again, it's rough. Like it's not easy. So I get it. I mean, you gotta have a really good clamp down on their shoulder on one side, and you got to underhook really heavy on the other side, and you got to just go for it. Because if you just half-ass it, you're just gonna gash yourself out.
Yeah, it's gonna be like when Buday is gonna be pushing up against pushing Andre Arlovski against the cage.
Yeah, maybe for a round, but that'll be the 3rd round. We'll be okay. We're already getting the split.
Scotty says he bets wrestling. I am 1-27 versus The Undertaker in WrestleMania. That's awesome. I know you can bet on like WWE stuff. I know Carlos does it if he's still here, but I can't find the book to do it. Probably Bet Online, I would say.
Yeah, Bet Online has it. So it's funny. So like I don't watch it, but Ariel Helwani one time was talking about like who was going to win some like event or whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, this guy's plus 600. That's silly. Bet on him. And I was like, all right, Helwani, let's see what you know. And I bet on him at cash. So I don't know. Helwani knew something. Like, it was one of those weird things where I was just like in one of those moods where I'm like, all right, Helwani, we're just going to tail you on this random pro wrestling bet. All right. Yeah. But it hit. So,
I mean,
maybe he's the guy that knows.
You got to think betting on WWE wrestling is like the ultimate. I don't even know how to word it. Like, you should bet every freaking underdog. If that's the case, you don't like you don't even know what's like. Nobody knows. You can do as much tape as you want. You know what I mean? You can't make a logical decision. It's like the WWE wants him to win. That's my best breakdown, so I'm gonna pick him. You know what I mean? Like one of those.
Yeah.
It's scripted.
It's like betting on like a TV show. Like say you wanted to bet on like I don't know what's like a TV show that like The Sopranos or something. Like you know?
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna bet him to die next. You know, one of those like
crazy.
It's crazy, but if you win, it's cool. So
yeah, dude, take the money, right?
Do not complain. Peyton, Fili, Pyfer, Garry, where are we at? Who's Air?
Garry?
I don't know what the Air part is though. Oh, Jourdain. Oh, okay. Peyton for sure. I'm on Gene. I like Fili and not confident. Pyfer, I'm a little more confident. And we're getting to Garry. Here we go.
We haven't got to Garry yet, Dave.
We're getting to Garry right now, right here. It's going to be Ian Garry versus Michael Venom Page. And very fun fight. Both guys are really good strikers. I mean, Michael Page is a little bit more unorthodox. He does a little crazy, a little bit more like who does like a Yuri, if you want to say, with his style. It kind of keeps his hands low, a little karate base. And Gary's the kickboxer, very technical, very good hands, quick, good kicks. Maybe you would give Garry the slight edge in grappling. I know he's been working on it, but we really haven't seen it. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it's striker versus striker here. Gary's the younger guy. I mean, I'm going to go with Garry. I like the technical side of Garry, but I mean, is there a path to victory for Page? Sure. I just don't think there's going to be a knockout. And I think that's really Page's maybe path here to win. I know he looked good against Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland didn't really, I want to say like he didn't really know what to do. He couldn't really solve the puzzle of Page, but he's not the technical striker that Garry is. And say what you want about him off, in his personal life, but UFC, if you're just looking straight fighter and striker, very good striker. It's going to be a fun fight. I just think Garry does a little bit more. I think he can mix in some grappling if he can if the opportunity arises. But striker for striker, I just think Garry is going to be a little bit more technical, and I think he'll land a little bit more. And I think he can solve the puzzle that Kevin Holland couldn't. So I think it goes to decision, like I said. So give me Garry by decision. What do you think? You cut out right after I got my breakdown? He's sleeping. Okay. Well, when he gets back, we'll see what he has. So let's see. Who do you like in the chat before we'll get Tyler back in? Effie says Garry decision or sub insta holla. You're back. There you are.
I'm back again. This
can't hear you now. There you go.
They must be working on it.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. So they must be working on the internet or something. It's really bad.
Did you hear
you picked
who
Garry.
I picked? Yep. Go ahead. You're up.
Yeah, you picked Garry. I got that. Yep. Okay. So I don't know if I feel Effie's comment about this by being so boring and already put me to sleep. So I don't know that I feel as good about Garry as you do here. I think
okay.
I'm going to take MVP, but not with any confidence. And I think the reason I'm taking him is because I don't know. Garry kind of he seems like he's going through it. You know what I mean? So
like personal stuff. Okay.
Like
I'm just taking all that. I'm taking all of that out of the equation.
I can't do it.
Okay.
We've seen it happen before. Like, I mean, say what you will, but like, you can't tell me that the lead up to the Strickland Adesanya fight, the fact that Izzy was going through it didn't play any role whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like Strickland had a great game plan and it worked, but like Izzy was going through it and Garry's kind of going through it. You know what I mean? And like he's having close fights with guys that he should be able to beat real easy, and like he's just having a hard time. And I think MVP is kind of getting in his head a little bit too. I mean, he's been saying some stuff that's kind of rattling him. Gary's saying some silly things on like his interviews and stuff. So like, I'm gonna take MVP. I could be wrong, and like that's okay. It's just a pick. Like I'm not gonna bet. This is a. We haven't seen MVP at the UFC level enough for me to really know. But then again, he's beaten some guys in Bellator that I think are UFC level. So there is that. I used to hate MVP. I'm gonna be honest. Like back in the day, I couldn't stand this guy. He was super annoying. But he kind of grows on you as much as you hate to say it. But like it might also be that like Garry is also super annoying. So
he's very cringe, so he doesn't really leave a good taste in your mouth right off the bat. So
not at all. Yeah. So for
I try to block out all of that because like honestly, like Garry wouldn't be one of my favorite people to hang out with. If you want to say, I'd be like, nah, dude, you are a little immature punk. I don't want to deal with that. But if I'm just gonna look at it from like just UFC fighting, you're good. I'll say that.
Yeah. And like so you have to take the outside of the cage stuff into account sometimes though. And we're gonna circle it back a little bit because if you remember back to I think it was UFC 297. We're gonna circle back to that one. Okay. It was Jillian Robertson in her interview saying how badly she wants to get a TKO. And everybody was like, oh yeah, I should probably get her by sub, this, that, and the other. This girl is saying, no, I'm not going for the sub. I'm going for the TKO in the interview. She was saying that. Guess what she does? She goes out there and gets a TKO. So, sometimes you got to take that kind of stuff. Like you can't trust everything people say in an interview. I think it was lucrative MMA, which I know he's kind of a polarizing figure, whatever. But he had a video he put out where he like talks about like what kind of stuff you can take from interviews and trust and what kind of things you can't take from interviews and trust. And dude was spot on with that. So think what you want about lucrative. He was spot on with that. You could probably find it on his channel. I don't know. It was a long time ago. So, but it's like, you can see when a guy isn't in the right headspace. I don't think Ian Garry's in the right headspace, and MVP is definitely. MVP one, he knows this is his time and he needs to get it done here. He's beaten some high level guys. I think he's going to get it done. I think it's going to be a close fight. It's probably going to decision. And I think MVP is just going to be hard to hit. And I think he's going to look better in the eyes of the judges. That's what I see.
Okay. Yeah. And then it might be one of those like slow, low volume fight where like one punch might be what steals it at the end of a round. Like, and you're like, I don't know who won that round, but he did good the last 5 seconds. So that's probably going to steal it. Like one of those fights. And
if you're not putting together like 4 or 5 strike combinations, it's really hard to hit MVP. Yeah. It's really hard.
True. Yeah.
You're not going to hit him with like a 1-2.
Yeah. I got no bets on this fight. I'm probably going to stay away because the line is going the other way now. Gary's at like minus 155. So, I mean, if you like Page, you can get him at plus 150. I think that's not a bad bet at all. I think it's going to be close. Let's see. I was thinking Garry for sure, but as I thought of the Holland fight more, I think a lot of shots he landed KO Garry. It's a possibility. I just don't know if a lot of those shots are going to land on Garry though as well. Because Holland's a little bit more free, if you want to say, with his style.
Holland has good striking defense. If you look at his numbers, that dude's
he doesn't get hit hard a lot. He did get rocked a couple times, but he's durable as shit too. So
super durable. But he also like rarely gets hit clean.
Holland. True, he doesn't.
He didn't very often. He doesn't normally.
Yeah, that elbow I remember from that fight. That was pretty nasty.
Do you remember? Did you watch the Bellator fight where MVP like Evangelista Santos, where he like knees him in the head and like caves in his skull?
Yeah, and then I also saw the one where he leg kicked the knee of that one guy.
With Yamaguchi?
Yeah, that was nasty too. I was like, ah! So he's got some pretty cool KOs.
Dude, when he caved in Evangelista's skull, though, this is like the hardest part of your head. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what MVP's bones are made of, but like, it's not normal.
You must have like those like pointy elbows and knees and whatever, and it just goes.
He must
big right into. I don't know. MVP style gonna be too much for Garry? Could be. You could be giving him a little bit of issues. This fight boring. Where are you with that? I agree. Sims. There's something up with him. What 20-something guy with money marries some 40-year-old? Well, he got bamboozled.
Yeah, dude, you don't marry her. You hit it and quit it, like just like everybody else, right? Like, what are you doing?
I mean, he He got locked up. Let's put it that way.
Where were his boys? Where were the boys?
Right?
Come on, dude.
They're both highly hateable. That's true. They could be. If they both lose, I would root for that. I like it. MVP KO, point sparring overhand. That shit is consistent landing on Holland. Way too easy, man. Yeah. MVP gonna head back to Bellator. Oh, I don't know. I think he'll stick around. Anakin, what's up, man? Garry winning. Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner got announced for August 3rd. That'll be a good fight. It'll be entertaining.
Who has the high ground between Garry and MVP?
Who's taller?
No, who's got the high ground? Ask Anakin who's got the high ground.
Who's got the high ground, Anakin? Now I get it.
I'm just kidding.
High ground. Garry by split decision. I want to say, and I don't like to put on my tinfoil hat though. If this fight does go to split, I think they're gonna give it to Garry. I will say that.
Both guys are marketable, but Gary's going to be marketable for longer. Gary's marketable because you want to watch him lose. MVP's marketable because like he's fun, but like MVP's old. So
agreed. Charlie Olives wasn't there to save him. That's right. That's right. Can we talk about Julio Rodriguez avatar thing on YouTube? It reminds me of opening a video and I misclicked on. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, Scotty Law. I do not know what that is. The Julio Rodriguez avatar thing. I do not know what that is.
Oh, jeez.
We'll do Bronx and the Garry being Gary's corner. That could be. He's in Shoot the Box. So if he's in, where are they at this week? Vegas?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I think, Alves will be in Vegas. So maybe. I know he's doing like the, what's it called? The International Fight Week fan convention thing, whatever they call that. I know he's doing that. So
I don't think he's going to be in Gary's corner because, like, I mean, do we know how good Gary's Portuguese is? Okay, unless he's fluent in Portuguese, I don't think Oliveira is a good one to have in the corner because I know
true.
He's not fluent in English.
That's very true. He does not know that much English at all. Maybe none at all. Who knows? Next fight. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chiasson. Who do you like here in this fight? Line flipped. Completely flipped.
So here's the deal. It was like 2-3 weeks ago or something. Maybe even farther. I don't remember. It was a while ago when BetOnline brought the lines out. I got Macy at like plus 180 or something crazy.
That's awesome.
And I didn't even tape it at that point. I just saw plus 180 on Macy, and I was like, yeah, done. So now I'm happy with it. I think she probably wins. She's the better minute winner. She's going to be able to jab her up at range. She's got a massive height and reach advantage. She can even cage push her for a round and slow the cardio of MBS. But Silva's definitely got some finish upside. And I missed it earlier. It was Silva touched plus 100 for just like a little bit. But if I can catch it this time, when she gets back to plus 100, my goal was to drop the exact same amount I did on Macy and just it's free. So if Silva wins,
almost a free unit right there.
I'm good. Yeah, because then I've got the 80 of the plus 180 coming back my way when Macy wins. And if she doesn't win, if Silva pulls it off, then whatever. It was nothing. So that's the goal, is to hit that. She's not my most confident pick on the card by any means, but that line was crazy. I think Chiasson is the better fighter overall, though. I think better finisher might be Silva, but I think I have a hard time betting, kind of like with the Simone fight earlier. I have a hard time betting and like picking somebody that's so finish dependent because Silva is not a good minute winner. And I think she's going to really, really struggle to get the fight to the mat against Macy unless Macy initiates. And I know she's been subbed before, but I think she's getting better in those departments. And I think she's going to be able to stay on top. It's not like she's getting beat by bums. The liver kick from Aldana was kind of, I don't want to say it was a fluke, but like if you're going to call anything a fluke, that was a fluke. So
yeah, and she was winning that fight clearly.
Easily. Yeah. So, I got to take Macy, but like at the same time, you got to worry about the finish. So I'm going to try to make it nice and even at the plus 100 if I can get that when it hits it again. I'm sure it's going to hit it again.
You can even maybe do just throw like maybe a little bit less just on Silva by sub.
I thought about that too, but then what if she gets another like freak knockout or like liver kick? You know what I mean? She does kick a lot. Doesn't have to be off the back.
I don't think it. I mean,
I don't think so.
Maybe
either.
you never know, but yeah. I'm on
I
the
do
same
think
page.
she's finish dependent. I do think Silva's finish dependent.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I'm on the Macy side as well. I wish I would have got the plus 180 like you did. I did get plus money. I got plus 125. I was like this close to pulling the trigger at like plus 160, and I think I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna think about it a little bit more, and then just to verify, because I'm like, there's something missing here. Why is this line so wide? And I think I woke up the next day and saw plus 125. I'm like, shit. So I just like smashed it real quick. But yeah, it's a pick 'em right now, minus 110. She's going to be the bigger fighter, like you said. I think on the feet, I mean, she can stay at range. I actually like her striking. Actually, I like her wrestling. She can get a little sloppy sometimes on the mat, but and get reversed. But she can also get back to where she was and reverse back. But I don't think she should take this fight to the mat at all. I think she should keep this fight on the feet, and I think she can win. Maybe mixing a takedown here and there, maybe at the end of a round, because the only thing that's going to be worrying for my bet and my heart and everything is Macy's neck, because Silva's got a very good armbar. Macy's got a little longer neck than usual, and Silva's got very good ninja chokes, guillotines, all that stuff. So if she holds her up against the cage, she has got to be very careful about that. But other than that, I think that's the only spot where you have to worry with Macy here. Otherwise, I do think she wins. I think she can maybe even get a knockout or a finish herself, but more so probably by decision. And I do agree, like you said, Bueno Silva's finish dependent here. I don't think she wins a decision. In her last fight, she had that body language where she knew she couldn't get a finish, and she kind of almost gave up against Raquel Pennington in a way. She's like went through the motions. I didn't like her body language there. Maybe this happens here after the first round. She'll know right away. She'll be like, I can't get a finish. I tried my best, and I'll just go through the motions and do one of those things. And she always looks a little frustrated, which like her mental capacity, I don't know if she's like focused 100%. And I think she lets a lot of stuff get to her during the fights. So maybe that's just me. That's what I see just from body language with her in the corner. But I like Macy. I think she's actually she could be a problem in the bantamweight division just because of her height and reach. So bantamweights, they're not great. They're not a really amazing bantamweight. If you want to say Kayla Harrison, do you know anyone else, a bantamweight, like a legit bantamweight that would be
Norma Dumont? Don't be doubting Norma.
Oh, I'm a Norma fan.
Anybody.
I would bet Norma against anybody. Maybe Kayla Harrison. Maybe.
Better against Kayla. I might lose the bet, but I'm still betting her. I'm backing Norma.
Fair enough.
She's always backed me. I'm backing Norma. She came through me big time against Jermaine Durandamy when everybody was against her, and I said, you know what?
Oh, I bet Norma.
Yes, because you're the man.
That was
Johnny.
foolish. That was foolish. I think that was the last time you were on the show. We were talking about it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Or we did a show, or we at least did a show together, at least.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was this show. Because we remember we were like, Norma Dumont KO was like plus 1,800 or something crazy like that. And we both did it.
No,
threw a little bit of money down.
The KO.
You're slowing down. Right when you're going to say something. Okay, when you come back, I'll get you. Let's see. I could see Silva getting a decision or a sub, but it's hard to tell since it's women's MMA. Okay. Yeah, I honestly,
I'm back.
I don't. Okay, you're back. Go ahead. I think you're good now.
Good deal. Jesus,
there you go. It's like every 15 minutes it'll do it for like 30 seconds. What'd you say?
One of these days it'll be fine.
You're good.
Okay. Yeah. What are we at now? What are we talking about?
We're talking about Norma Dumont in that KO prop.
Right. Yeah. So the knockout prop for Dumont, that was the Chandler fight.
Oh, okay.
Where she ran away.
Still, I think that was the last time that we did a show together.
Yeah, it was you, me, and Couch.
Yep. That's it.
You must have been on the panel or something.
Yeah, I was probably on your show then.
Speaking of the panel, guys, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night.
There you go.
8:15, I guess, Central Time, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time on my channel for the panel.
There you go. Anakin can see a Silva decision or sub, but it's hard to tell since it's women's MMA. Garry is wearing purple shorts. He's pulling a Brendan Allen for 303. There you go. Let's go, Garry. Get those purple shorts going. There's Any Action Sportscast. Definitely go there, and that's who you subscribe to for Effie right there. Any Action Sportscast right there. I had Aldana. The up kick saved my ass. Yeah, you're lucky. It's Mannon's time. When does the UFC? When the UFC does a PI in France, they will let her be champion. She's a flyweight, right?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I don't know if you were talking about that for bantamweights, but like bantamweights are awful. If you look at like who the top 10 are, you're just like, oh.
Divisions go through this, right? It's like every so many years, your stars in the division age out. The women's bantamweight division is currently in that phase, and they've aged out. You think like a year or two ago, I guess it was like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, it was the men's light heavyweight division. It all aged out. You know, it's what happens when they just go through ebbs and flows. We're going to see it really soon with with probably the men's lightweight and featherweight division. Like those are gonna a lot of the stars are gonna start to age out, and it's just what happens. Right now, it's the women's bantamweight time. There's some stars coming up. They're just not of the notoriety yet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can't even. I just want to go over the rankings for the bantamweight division because it's so bad. Like, it's literally the worst out of all of them, and it's not even close. Like, here we go: Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena, Ketlin Vieira is number 2, guys. Bueno Silva's number 3. Kayla Harrison, Aldana, Holly Holm, Macy Chiasson 7. Misha Tate, Carol Hosa, Norma Dumont's 10 somehow, and she should be in the top 5.
Easy, should be top
Penny
5.
Kianzad, Yana Santos, Julia Avila, Chelsea Chandler, and Jermaine Duranamy.
Yeah. So
there's like 3 that should be a top 10.
How many of them are over the age of 35? Most
of them.
But when you look at the people past the top 15, how many of them are like, okay, we've got some younger kind of up and coming ladies that just haven't really got their notoriety yet. They're not popular yet. So in a year or two, people are gonna be like, man, the women's bantamweight division, and it's gonna be some other division. They're like, man, this division sucks. Like it was light heavyweight for a while, where that was just like easily the worst division.
True. I mean, if Manon wants to go to bantamweight and she's big enough to do it, I think she would be a champion easy.
Definitely has the skills.
Macy Barber, I think, can be potentially a champion, and she's a flyweight.
They both have some trouble with Dumont, but
yeah. Well, Dumont, I think would be, Kayla Harrison, Dumont, Macy Chiasson. Those are the problems, I think, in the division. Everyone else is just meh. There's nothing great about them. They just meh. They're there. They're older, like you said, 35, close to it or more. And yeah. Let's see. We got Queso in here. What's your most confident picks for the week? Most confident. I like Jillian pretty confidently. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. Obviously Peyton Talbott, but that line's crazy. You don't want to bet it.
I feel pretty good about Peyton Talbott.
Yeah. I mean, those would be my first 2, obviously. If you want to throw one more in there, like, I don't. Ricky Simone, I think, like, he's got all the paths to victory to win, but it's just going to be, it might be a little bit closer than what you would like. There's no like straight locks or anything like that this card, if you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to throw somebody out that's like confident, that's not necessarily on here. I mean, you got like Kizriev over in PFL, that's like pretty sure thing. Magomed Umlatov, pretty sure thing. If you're going chalky, there you go.
Yeah. Anakin likes Joe Pyfer. I don't hate it. And like Lopes, don't hate it either. Kayla Harrison's a beast. Yeah, she looked pretty good in her last fight, I'll tell you that. We got MMA clips in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out.
Let's go MMA clips.
Let's see. All right, next fight. Where are we at? Anthony Smith, the legend, versus Roman Dolidze And this is, like I said, this fight actually started out as Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. And this is the fight that we're getting now. Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze, which isn't a bad fight at all, actually. I'm actually don't hate it at all. I think it's going to be a fun one. Smith is well-rounded. He's got good striking, good leg kicks. He does have sneaky grappling. He does get taken down pretty easily, which you have to watch out for in this fight. But he's a veteran. He was able to fraud check Vitor Petrino with the guillotine, which was stupid on him to even try to do that, but it is what it is. And Dolidze, very, very good grappler. He's got very good ankle submission locks and very good submission guy too. Decent wrestling. He's very durable. His striking, it's just okay. Kind of low volume, but he does power. He does have heavy shots if he does land. He doesn't really check leg kicks, which can be a little bit worrisome for this fight for him too. Yeah, and his takedown defense isn't all that great, but he doesn't mind being on the mat. He'll grapple his way back to in reverse and get a leg lock or an ankle lock or whatever you want to say. But this is like I said, interesting fight. I probably said it like 4 times. I'm just gonna go with Dolidze. I do trust his durability a little bit more. I think if this fight does get on the mat, I favor Dolidze. I think he's a better grappler. I know Smith has sneaky submissions, but I think if you're going with pure wrestling and grappling, I think Dolidze is better. That's just me. But on the feet, I do think Anthony Smith is the better striker, more technical. He does throw more volume. He has a very good jab too, and he's got good leg kicks. So it just depends on where you think this fight's going to end up. But I do think Roman should go for some takedowns, and he probably can get those pretty easily off of Smith. And I think I don't want to say dominates, but I think he can control Smith. And I do think this fight goes to decision, though, I will say. But it wouldn't shock me if like Roman gets in some weird kind of scramble and gets like an ankle lock or leg lock or something like that. So, but give me Dolidze to win. Who do you like here?
When you take a look at the parchment, Johnny, it's Anthony Smith.
Okay.
And let me tell you this.
Why though? But why?
First off, I think Anthony Smith's better than people give him credit for.
I think he's good. I think he's very
I'm
good.
also biased as heck.
Well, I knew that. That's why I'm like, really? Tell me why.
He literally lives like right down the road. He just moved, so he's a little further away now. Like he just moved houses like last month, I think it was, earlier this month. I can't remember, something like that. But he's a little further now. But yeah, there you go. No, I mean, like we live in a small city. Like it's,
I know.
It's like, but yeah, no, Anthony Smith, he's my guy, so I'm taking him. But like, I think he's better than people give him credit for. He does have a lot of the skills. He's lost to some of the best guys in the division. He's had a couple of weird performances, like the Johnny Walker one, for example. That was not a good performance on his part. Even further back, like the Alexander Rakic performance was horrible. But that was also a fight that was just kind of like thrown together, really weird. Main event fell out on that card. And then they just kind of pieced it together. It was like a 3-round main event back then. So that was, you kind of whatever. It is what it is. But Anthony Smith, if you give the guy the proper preparation, he turns up. This fight, I understand it's on short notice, but he would. Okay, so against Olberg, like he was originally going to fight Olberg when Anthony Smith stepped in, which I thought was a good. It was a good pairing because when Jamal Hill got hurt, he was actually in Omaha training with Anthony Smith at the time. So like that made sense. But now it's Dolidze, so it's a mess. But I think he can beat Dolidze, and I think he's going to finish him because Anthony Smith's a finisher. If he's winning fights, most of the time he's finishing him. He's what, won like 3 or 4 decisions or something like that. But the dude's got like a ton of finishes. Like that is what he does.
But he's been finished a ton of times too, though.
He's been finished quite a few times, but he's also very durable. Like this is the same guy that like got his teeth knocked out, picked him up in his hand, hands him to the referee, and comes out for the next freaking round. Like Smith's durable. So for me, I like Anthony Smith. I think he's the better fighter. I think Dolidze is kind of low output. I think Smith's going to have better output. I think he's the cleaner striker. Smith has the problem of when he's moving backwards, though, he's not good. And it depends what Smith we get. If we get the Smith that's content to move backwards, we're going to have a problem. But if we're going to know right away in this fight that if he's coming forward, Smith's got this thing. If Smith's the guy moving forward for the first like 60 seconds, and that's the game plan he's got, he's going to win the fight. That's what he does. If you get this guy moving downhill, he's causing damage, and he's brutal. Like he slices you up with elbows. hit you to the body, hit your legs. Like, he's good enough in the grappling department that when Dolidze is tired out, he's going to be able to, beat him there. He's going to be the bigger guy. Yes, I know Smith used to fight at 185, but he's been at 205 for quite a while now. He's really filled out the frame. Dolidze's taken this on short enough notice that he's 205 because he's 205. He was getting ready for a 185-pound fight. I think Smith's the grappling's close enough that size is going to play a big factor there. Give me Smith. I think he's going to get it done. I think he's going to finish him. Probably a TKO. I think it's going to be one of those TKOs where like the ref just is like, man, I've seen enough. You're not defending yourself well enough. And that's it.
Okay.
But I'm biased. So
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm just
biased.
I don't know. I actually think Smith is finish dependent to win this fight. Well, maybe not actually. I think let me reverse that. I think he's actually decision dependent on this one. I think Roman needs to get a finish to win it. He's not. I don't think Roman's going to win a decision.
I don't think so either.
So, but it's just hard for me to see Anthony Smith getting a finish, even though I know he has a ton of them. But Roman's never been finished. And the only time he was very close to getting finished was against Nasruddin, and somehow the ref didn't stop that fight in the first round. But other than that, I don't think he was ever close to getting finished ever. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be a fun fight either way. Anakin's has Dolidze by first round calf slicer, gave Hawes and Hermanson issues with that. First round sub, slamming someone that is choking you almost never works. Agreed. That was dumb. So dumb on Petrino there. Shara calling out Kevin Holland for July 13th. That's not a bad fight for him if he wants to try to move up a little bit quicker. Did he?
I think he's fighting Jared Cannonier.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't know if that's official yet, but I think it is.
I think it is. And it's going to be in Denver on the 13th. So I don't think Shara's going to get his wish there. Smith won't sub Dolidze. He's too tough. Smith BJ is actually pretty good. It is pretty good, but so is Dolidze. So we'll see. If I'm going to be honest, I don't rate Petrino win highly because of the Petrino's IQ. Yeah, it's not. It's zero, like you said. That Johnny Walker loss didn't age well. Yeah, didn't. So as long as Anthony's not defending his family or fighting Glover, he's legit. 100%.
Fair enough.
There you go. Got to go and record my stuff this week. Great show, guys. Appreciate you coming out, Effie. Definitely, like I said, go check out Any Action Sportscast. He's going to put out his videos this week. So go hit him up.
I'll be tuning in.
There you go. Dolidze is insanely tough. I'm going with the nicknames again. I'll take the Caucasian by KO.
It is technically a hate crime when Anthony Smith's a half black man.
That's true. Roman via KO is the play. We got May Robs in here. What's up, May Robs? Info about Arlovski fight. Will fight in the UFC last time probably, but carry on his career at other promotion. Okay. If that's true. Interesting. Roman has won at light heavyweight before. That's good to know. Bunny Hunter, what's up, man? I had Smith against Petrino. I'll take Smith as a pick. There you go. It's not a bad pick, though. Got plus money, so that's always fun to have plus money on.
I had an accidental 3-unit untracked bet on Smith against Petrino, and I was so happy.
A 3-unit?
Yeah, dude. So here's the deal. BetUS is a sketchy sports book, right?
100%.
And they messed up the line on Petrino and Smith, and they had the odds reversed. So I was like, screw it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 3 units on Petrino, 3 units on Smith, put Smith on Bet Online and Petrino on BetUS, because on BetUS, they had Petrino at like plus 345 or something like that. And I was like, cool, I win no matter what. And I win like a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Then BetUS,
corrected their mistake.
A day or two later was like, oh yeah, we messed up, and they canceled it. And I was like, hold up, if I made a mistake, you wouldn't give me my money.
Yeah, you're starting to go out a little bit.
So what's up with that? But it's what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that happen a couple of times too with some certain sports books where they mess up a line and they're like, oh, this is the line that you get. And I'm like, well, then give me my money back then, because I didn't want to bet it at that line.
Yeah. So they gave me my
don't
money
correct
back,
it and then put my money towards it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then I had 3 units on Anthony Smith, and I was like, we're gonna let it ride, but like I wasn't.
You're like, well, that's what I wanted to do anyways. So.
I would have bet him, but I wasn't gonna bet 3 units on him. But I was glad that I mean, I was glad, but I could have hit. But like, if I was originally, it's like a half unit shot on Anthony Smith. I think he's got a shot, not like I'm gonna put 3 units on him because I'm mega confident. Like it was like,
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's funny.
It worked out great for me, but it was untracked. I didn't track it because I realized it was a line error on BetUS's part.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I didn't track it.
Where'd you get this line?
Yeah. So I didn't track either side of it because it was like whatever. But like I mean, whatever. I could post a slip, but it's one of those things where like afterwards, it's like
I think everybody has untracked bets just for fun. You know what I mean? Like I don't post any of like my little fun bets. I like to call them like just little sprinkles here and there. Hope for the best, and if they hit, they hit. Like, I'll brag about it, but I'm not going to say it's like I'm not going to be like, oh, it's tracked. Nope. Yep. What you see on Bet MMA Tips, that's my track bets.
Yep.
So we're at the co-main event. We got about a little over 200 people in here. Appreciate you all hanging out with us. Definitely hit the like button. Go to 138 MMA on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And go give him a follow. He puts out all of his breakdowns for every event and promotion. So definitely hit him up if you don't know 138 MMA, if you haven't heard of him before. We got Johnny Newquist with the $10 donation. Appreciate you as always, Johnny News. Who is your favorite dog? Well, she's not a dog anymore. To pick him, Macy Chiasson.
Favorite Scruff McGruff, I would say.
What's the other one? Super. No, what is it? I can't even remember the name. What's that?
Scruff. He was from your neck of the woods, right? Chicago.
Probably.
Is it
the Dare guy?
Like that?
You're bringing back the old memories. Sheesh.
That was a long time ago.
I know. Who do you like as your dog?
I don't know. Let's see. Who is my favorite dog on this card? Geez.
Anthony Smith?
Maybe. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Well, you're on the Chiasson side as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I did bet Chiasson first as far as dogs, so I guess that. But
I'm trying to think.
Smith or Chiasson, one of the two.
I mean, Paige is a dog. You're on Paige as well. That's a tougher fight.
I wouldn't say that. I'm like super confident in that one.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if you got Macy at plus money, I think that's a great bet. But now it's a pick on, so it's like, now it's like, who do you like now? It doesn't matter. Like, I don't think you're getting any extra value, but you can still probably bet who you like because it's a pick 'em, literally. Super chat that shit. Indeed. Gene Silva is the dog of the night. I like Gene Silva as well. Olives. I'm talking about Charlie Olives. What happened with him? You don't put Olives in the chat, Dev, without saying something about Charlie Olives. He's gonna make Jourdain scared in his walkout.
I don't think Jourdain's scared of anything.
I don't think he is either, but
I feel like even if John Silva oils himself up and lights himself on fire and comes running across the cage, I think Jourdain's just gonna go, yeah, and he's going for it. Like Jourdain's a madman. He would love that.
Karate Hottie as a dog, potentially. I'm pretty high on in this fight anyways, Robertson, but there is a path I could see where she wins though. Plus 190 for what? Are you talking about Vinicius, not Charlie Olive? Get out of here, Dev. We don't talk about any Oliveira other than Charlie O. But it's not too bad. I like the price though. It can happen. All right, co-main event, guys. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button for us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter as well, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. Co-main, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes. Who do you like?
So I got to take Lopes. It's one of those things where Brian Ortega's taken a lot of damage, a lot of damage. And I think this is the time his chin finally cracks. So I've got to go with Lopes. I think he's going to knock him out at some point, probably early, first or second. You can only take that much damage for so long. And if you look at anybody you're like, oh man, that guy's taking a lot of damage. His chin's going to crack soon. Brian Ortega's right at the top of that list. Brian Ortega is very skilled. The dude's an incredible grappler. Striking came along, but it was a little bit late. He had to learn how to strike first. Thankfully, Max Holloway taught him that in that clinic he put on him. But yeah, man, like he just, I don't know how much more of those shots he can take. So Lopes getting the knockout probably.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you with the Lopes. I think he gets this one done. And not to say like Ortega's, washed or anything, but he has taken a crap ton of damage on the feet. He may, when I say this, have the more technical striking, but he is super hittable. And the more dangerous guy for sure on the feet is Lopes. We saw it for like 30 seconds. This guy is crazy. He's got crazy power. He's really big for a flyweight. Amazing grappling, just like Ortega. So I think that kind of cancel each other out. This might end up being a striking fight, maybe a couple takedowns here and there. Nothing crazy, but yeah, if I was Lopes, I would probably want to keep it on the feet and maybe try to, crack Ortega. Even in the Yair fight with Ortega early on, he was cracked. But I mean, I will say this: Ortega is very, very durable. He's very, very tough. He's going to stick it out, even if he's seeing like 4 or 5 Volkanovskis in round 5. But he's always going to be there. But like you said, there is going to come a time where he gets cracked, and it's not going to be able to survive. But I like Lopes here. The line, I mean, you could have got Lopes really super early at plus money. It's about minus 140 range right now for him. I still don't think that's a bad price. Obviously, it's going to be better for Ortega if you think he wins, but for me, it's hard to back Ortega when I do think his only advantage is in the striking department. And I think the grappling is, and that's where he normally has his advantages in a lot of his fights that he's winning is the grappling. And he's not going to have that advantage anymore. So I can't trust Ortega to win like a striking fight ever. Because not to say Diego's the striker of like Max Holloway or even Volkanovski, but Diego's dangerous. And he has been training with Grasso at Lobo Gym, so he is working on his striking and his boxing. He does have good power. We saw it against Sadiq. Yeah, I just think Lopes is a little bit more dangerous on the feet, I will say, and on the mat, it is what it is. I think it's about the same. They're both very good grapplers. We like I said, we probably won't see this fight on the mat. See what the chat says here, real quick. His friends call him Chuck Oliveira. I'm always on the Lopes train. Yeah, you might as well ride the train right now. He's looking pretty good. Let's put it that way. Or picking Arlovski, Smith, Waterson, and Swanson. Show some respect to the senior citizens. Agreed. I mean, I think Swanson has a chance. I really do. If you see CJ tell him to pay him $100, I don't think it's going to happen. But he was here earlier if you missed him. My man crush loses it Saturday. Who's your man crush? He's so pretty, though. People on Arlovski and not Ortega is chapping my underparts. Ortega has a higher level of competition. Agreed. You have to take Ortega. I don't have to take Ortega. Just Diego wasn't able to fight those fighters yet. I think he's on the come up. I'm going swimming in those deep blue eyes. Are you talking about Ortega?
He's definitely talking about Ortega.
Okay.
Ortega's a handsome man. I get it. But he's not going to win the fight.
I support your liberal agenda towards Ortega. Love is love, man. That's right. If you love someone, that's cool. Guys, don't touch Arlovski. He's out from UFC, too expensive for Dana. That is very true. If you look at it that way,
he's making a lot.
He probably makes like $250,000 just to show up.
I think he's more than. I think he's over 400,000 to show.
Just to show, and if he wins, he gets double. That's insane.
I know Anthony Smith's at least 300 to show. So you got to imagine Arlovski's higher than that.
Buday is Budass, more like Butay, but we are fighting someone who's 45 years old. Throwing it out there. All right, main event. Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka. Who do we go with here? It's the second rematch here, and we always like to say it never really happens the same way as the first time, but they're both very good strikers. One's technical, one's a crazy unorthodox striker. This, I just keep coming back to this, and this is what I said in the first fight. Even though Yuri was looking good, he was pressuring Pereira, making him go on his back foot until he got rocked. But it's just the leg kicks from Pereira and the way Yuri just isn't. This striking defense is all that great, if you want to say. If Pereira can get those leg kicks going early, I think it's going to be a longer night for Yuri. But Yuri's, he pushes through that. We've seen him do that. But Pereira has that like different kind of knockout power. He was able to rock Yuri, knock him out. Now, some people are going to say, well, it was an early stoppage. I mean, the writing was on the wall. He was already in full mount. He was going to land a couple more shots. And I think it was Herb Dean stopped it a little too, maybe stopped it early. But, it was going to happen probably. Give him 5 more seconds and 2 more shots. It would have been done. But it's going to be a very close fight again. I can see both guys winning. I'm just going to go with Alex again. I just can't overlook the leg kicks that are going to be open all day for Alex. And Yuri's going to have to drag this fight later in the rounds to make Pereira slow down a bit. We've seen Pereira slow down in the later parts of rounds before, but Pereira is always going to be live for that left hook every freaking time. We've seen it every freaking time, even with Yuri. So to me, I can't unsee that. So I'm picking Alex to win by knockout. I don't think this fight gets to the 4th round for sure. I think it happens between 1, 2, or 3. I'll probably say the second just to be safe. But what do you think?
Yeah. Yuri didn't show anything in his last fight that makes me think he's going to change his style all of a sudden in this
100%.
fight. And I can't imagine how difficult it would be to go 5 rounds against Alex Pereira when you have the striking defense of Yuri Prochazka. Like, can you imagine
we saw it against Glover, and Glover is not known for technical striking. He was lighting Yuri up.
Lighting him up. And it's not like Yuri's a bad fighter. I bet him against Rakic, but I bet him for the reason that he showed us is that like he's going to outdog you, and if you don't have the ability to put him out, he's just going to keep coming. Pereira has the ability to put him out. We saw it last time. Mm-hmm. Sure, call it an early stoppage or not. Like if he didn't get it there, it was coming really soon after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where I think Alex Pereira's the side. I think I think it took him a bit to figure out the rhythm and the style of Yuri in the first fight, and that's why Yuri had so much success early on. I don't think he's going to have that problem here. I think he's going to figure out, get it done a little bit quicker. Maybe not first round, but second round. End of the first round, I think he's figured out the timing a little bit better. I think he's going to land the kicks. I think he's going to land the jabs to the body. I think he's going to land the hook to the head. Like I think the thing that actually was hardest for Pereira is like because Yuri has such poor striking defense, he didn't really need to bring out the reactions to hit the shots. And it was when Alex I guess is how you're supposed to say it, when he realized, oh, I don't need to draw out a reaction to hit this guy. He's there to be hit. Then he started landing those shots. That's when it was. Because typically the guy wants to throw something to draw out your shot and then hit you with his. And that's how he lands that left hook all the time. When he realized he didn't need to do that, that's when the knockout came. I think that's what we're going to get. Pereira's getting it done again. I feel pretty good about it. Unless it's the broken toes. Like it's not, it can't be like it's 2 broken toes, I guess, but they're not that bad. I've had broken toes. Most of us haven't had broken toes before. If you've done any sort of striking martial art, it's what happens sometimes. He's going to be fine. He probably, once the fight starts, he won't think about the toes anymore. Other than that, I can't see anything that Yuri could do differently in this fight to make it 25 minutes with Alex. Could he finish him? I guess, but I don't see it. Pereira it is. Pereira it is.
I think the last fight when they fought, was it in a pick'em or close to it? I can't remember.
It was pretty close, yeah, because I remember I bet pretty good on Alex to win that one.
So did I.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
minus 135. So money
Yeah.
is coming in on Yuri, which I don't mind at all if you're getting plus money. But if you're going to give me pick 'em on Alex again, I'll be putting some money on Alex for sure. I don't want to touch this fight. I really don't. Because the rematches, for whatever reason, like I always seem to pick the wrong person or bet the wrong person, especially. But yeah, if you're going to pick them, though, it's game over. Or actually, if you want, both guys to win by knockout is plus money. You can win free money that way. I think one guy's knocking out somebody.
I would bet him.
What? You think there won't be?
Am I back?
You're back, I think.
Thank goodness. The stupid internet today.
What'd you say again, though? Sorry, you were cutting out a bit.
Yeah, honestly, I think I thought the line was going to shoot to where Pereira was going to be a bigger favorite. I thought he was going to be like minus 200.
I thought he was too.
So I have no idea why money's coming in on Yuri. Not that Yuri's a bad fighter. I just think it's a horrible matchup for him. We saw the amount of damage he took against Rakic. Rakic is not Alex Pereira. Rakic is very skilled. He's not the killer that Alex Pereira is.
He's not even close.
Yeah. I can't. If you're going to let somebody land those kind of shots on you, if you let Alex do that, like, dude, you're toast. Toast.
I agree.
Yeah.
Dev says Yuri round 3 KO potentially if this fight gets later in the fight. I mean, maybe I would favor Yuri more so.
I do not.
If it gets there.
Kendra
rolling.
Alex is going to win too.
Under 3.5 seems like a good
She's
play.
back from jiu-jitsu, so.
Who?
Kendra. She just walked in.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
She says Alex is going to win.
There you go.
Yep.
Didn't tune in right at 6. At one point of the show, did you guys give your opinion on the Haktua phenomenon?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
It's some girl that was interviewed like on the streets of like, I don't even know what town, maybe Nashville or something like that. And she
a fighter or something?
No. It was like a viral thing where some guy was like asking her some question and she was like, he's got a Haktua on it. And like, it just went crazy. And this girl's like making millions all of a sudden. Okay. But good for her. Get that money while you can.
Yeah. Good for her.
They step in the third. Bye, Alex. I mean, maybe. Potan should get it early. I think someone's getting knocked out early. And by early, I would say like round 1 or 2. The 1.5, though, it's like, I don't know.
You can tell Anakin that Pereira certainly has the high ground.
All the short notice stuff scares me. Yeah, agreed. This is a short notice fight for both guys. So Yuri has a striker's chance. He does. I bet Alex early think the line will go the other way now. I'm debating on doubling down. Yeah, you should if you think so. If you're in it at like minus 160, then you're definitely in it at minus 135.
Definitely.
So just see how the night goes. Maybe you can get closer to plus money. Alex by decision. That would be wild. My lady's trying to explain to me who Haktua is. Thanks. She'll let you know. This doesn't go 5. I don't think so either. But there's a weird thing. I did a watch along with Effie. I did a watch along with Effie last week, and it was the Volkov fight. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw money on Volkov decision only, because if for whatever reason it goes to decision, Volkov's winning. Like Pavlovich not winning a decision at all, and that hit somehow. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, guys?
The real ones knew that the person that was actually winning the sparring exchanges was Volkov, because if you watch the interviews and you have somebody translate it, they put through that the way he was saying that, oh yeah, Pavlovich wins the sparring. You could tell that like, oh no. If you direct translation it to text, yeah, it looks like he was saying that, oh, Pavlovich rattles me all the time. But if you like catch what he was saying, he was blowing smoke for this guy, because you're not supposed to just like be like, oh yeah, I beat up on this guy in sparring all the time.
Yeah,
and you look like a jerk.
You gotta be respectful and stuff like that for sure. Yeah, we got all these fights done. Now let's do some show bets.
Here we go.
Let's do a safe one. We always do like a safer one, and then I like to do this little riskier one. Let's just put a little beer money down on it, maybe win $100. Who knows? What are you thinking for like a safer play?
Okay, so safer plays. I've got a couple. And
I think we're both really high on Jillian, right?
Yeah, but she was one of them.
Let's put that. Let's put that in there.
That's two easy, safe ones, I think.
And what was the other one you said?
Alex Pereira. Poetan.
Okay, you want to go that?
I think that's super easy.
Okay, that's plus 168.
That's a clean parlay. I might even just play that after this because I think it's a good idea.
Okay. All right. I see where.
I mean, we don't have to roll with that if you don't want to, but I think that's.
I'm just looking. I'm looking. You know. Let me see what this is real quick. I do like it. Don't get me wrong.
Like, I feel better about Pereira's chances than I do about like someone like Ricky Simone, who's a bigger favorite.
I was gonna say like we were both kind of on Ricky, and that would be plus 115.
I like Ricky, but I think Poetan's a better pick. I think he's a safer bet than Simone.
A safer bet. Diego Lopez safer than Diego Lopez.
I would take Simone over Lopez. Brian Ortega is not somebody that I would not be confident betting against Brian Ortega. The guy's good.
Okay.
Not that I still think he loses the fight, but Brian Ortega is scary, man. Like he's very skilled. Like my confident reads here, we got obviously Robertson.
Yep.
We got, I think Pyfer's confident. I feel confident about Pyfer. I know a lot of people don't, but I think they're just down on him because of Manson fight. Poetan definitely.
Plus 107 for Pyfer.
That's not bad. I don't mind that. Ray Tsuruya, that's another one I feel good about.
That's not plus money. It's like I just looked at that one too because I'm like, I think he does win. That's minus 116. I want to get like a plus money.
Yeah, if we're going to plus money, yeah, it'd be any of those. I mean, Jillian's for sure.
Yeah. I'm cool with like Ricky. I'm cool with those three. Either Ricky. What was the other one I said? Shit.
I mean, we got
Alex or Pyfer.
I would play
all those are plus money.
In order of confidence, it'd be Poetan, Pyfer, Simone.
Okay, so let's knock out Simone.
I just think that there's too much like flash KO upside in the Simone fight, whereas I don't see that in the other two as much.
Yeah. It's almost like the same fight in a way. Pyfer versus Marc Andre. Because like I can see Andre like taking this fight in the deep waters, maybe, and maybe Yuri takes this fight in the deep waters. It's like
Marc Andre's good. I think the style is like a hard style for him. It's those guys that are just like shooting cannons right down the pipe, and that's what I think I'm into. Let's see if the chat. What did the chat say?
Add Ian Garry. That one's a tough fight. That's a single bet only if you want to do that. Pyfer minus 300.
I guess what's the over?
DraftKings is minus the Yuri fight. Over under is 1.5. It's minus. We can.
I think the over in the Garry fight's okay. I think we get over.
In the Garry fight, the over there is. Where is it? Over 2.5 is minus 210. It'd still be plus money.
I don't like that line as much. If there was like minus 1 something, I'd feel good about it. But like minus 2 something is just we're getting silly here, guys. Come on.
We're getting silly.
But then again, I think it goes to decision probably. So
it probably does. What's fight? You know, we just need
I like that better than the other fighters though.
We could do fight starts round 3 with Jillian plus 109.
Fight starts round 3. Okay. Plus 109. That's not bad. It's not bad.
It's safe.
Safe-ish.
I mean, we're looking for safe.
I still feel like the safer one is either Poetan or Pyfer. I really do. Or
Pyfer is the same line as the fight starts round 3, basically.
Yeah, I think Pyfer's a safer pick than fight starts round 3 because I could see somebody getting the flash.
Let's go with Pyfer.
We can go with Pyfer.
Let's do it. I think I feel a little bit more comfortable with Pyfer, but I still think Alex wins. Just because I'm Yuri's just such a freaking wild card. I don't think Marc Andre is dangerous at all.
He's not super dangerous.
So I do favor Pyfer just because of that reason.
I think Pyfer's going to look better in this fight than he did in the last one because I think he's going to say, "Oh, now I figured out what I need to work on."
Yeah.
I think he's going to look good.
Let's do that. Let's do Jillian Pyfer plus 107 for our safe one. Like I said,
Pyfer's a bit of a goober and like kind of a weirdo. Yeah. Like he rubs people the wrong way, and I get that. But like, I don't think he's a bad fighter, and I think he's smart enough to learn from his mistakes, and I think he's going to do well here.
I like it. All right. So let's think of a riskier parlay. Something about maybe plus 300-ish or more.
Brother,
it doesn't have to be crazy like plus 1,500. What do you like?
Let me tell you something, brother.
Oh, here we go. This is what you're waiting for.
I was. When you told me that earlier today, I was like, okay. Immediately I said, there's a split decision prop on a man named Andre Arlovski that needs to go in this parlay because brother is hitting Andre by split. You can play just decision if you want to go safe, but Andre Arlovski split decision prop. I don't know what it's at right now, but it's got to be pretty decent.
Let me see if it's on Fight Odds. It's not on DraftKings yet, but
of course not.
DraftKings 6 time.
Yeah,
they only put out like the main card one day, then the prelims this day, then I'll go back to the main card this day, and then this. It's like, come on, just do it all at once.
What do they have him for just decision then?
Arlovski decision. It's only on Bet Online right now, it looks like, but plus 240.
That's it.
That's it.
What's his money line? Plus 235?
Plus 200. They do not think he's going to be. It's his only path to victory, Tyler. We went through this. It's not even that great.
So maybe that's not even as good of a one as I thought.
Let me see if there's a split on here somewhere. I don't think they have it on here for Bet Online.
That's stupid. Okay, well, that's not as good of a line as I thought it was going to be then. Well, that sucks. I mean, it's okay, but like, plus 245 is not what we're looking for here.
True.
Okay. What about this? What do we got on Talbott round 3? No method round 3.
Talbott round 3. I'll look at that real set. Okay. Talbott round 3. Let me look at that. Plus 350.
Jeez, what? These lines are criminal. Are you kidding?
Round 2 for Talbot's plus 255.
Round 3 is like such a specific.
Plus 350 on Bet Online right now.
That's just not even.
Well, the thing about it with Talbot though is he doesn't have. I think he might have one first round finish, but all of his finishes are either in round 2 or 3.
That's just such an odd, like that's such a specific thing that like that's such horrible odds. Okay.
Do you want to do it? You want to do a 2? You want to do a 2-leg parlay, or do you want to do maybe 3 to make the?
Dude, we can do whatever. I'm here to get crazy.
Because I was gonna say we can add Alex and then do like 2.
It's how she won her last one. Ken was giving me flack because I said Julian Robertson TKO, but that's how she won her last one. Darn it.
What's that? DraftKings doesn't have it, but let me see what it is.
Bet Online had it at plus 800 when I played it. It's probably better now.
I was thinking something along the lines of like, I kind of like, Diego Lopes, maybe decision plus 400.
I don't see him getting a decision here. I think he gets that knockout. But he could get a decision.
The knockout's plus 180. I was like, that's
it?
I know.
Ridiculous, dude.
I know.
Bookies are on to us, man.
But he just got a knockout before, so maybe that's probably why.
He like killed the last 3 people he fought, so.
I mean, I know it goes against our pick, but even like Bueno Silva by sub is plus 300. That's not bad.
Like, I would almost, I mean, that's still not that good of a line.
It's still not that good.
For somebody who's about to be plus 100, for her to win specifically by submission, that's silly. Gosh, these lines are terrible. Okay, hold on. Give me a sec. I got this.
Oh, you're fine. We got this.
What if we
think about it?
What if we go round? We're going to get specific. Round. No, I don't want to play the same fighters. I was going to say round 2 KO Pyfer, but I think that's too specific. And it's also like we already used Pyfer. Let's go with. Okay, what about Jourdain round 3? No method.
Let's see what that is. It's not on DraftKings yet, but
DraftKings, get your shit together.
I know. Round 3, Jourdain.
Like sports book, and they're just like not even. It's Wednesday. DraftKings. The fights are on Saturday.
That's plus 1,400.
Now we're speaking my language. Somebody got that one right. I like that as a play.
Yeah, I mean that's.
If we're getting risky, I like that.
What's I don't know if it's gonna be on here. I wouldn't mind like maybe Jourdain round 3 decision. That should be pretty decent.
What
I
line we
don't
got?
see I don't see it on here though. I don't think BetOnline does that.
No, I don't think they do.
DraftKings does, but they don't have the lines for that yet.
Of course they don't, because DraftKings is way above. It's a pay-per-view DraftKings. Who do I need to write to tell them this? That's why I don't use DraftKings hardly.
I know. I usually use DraftKings, but none of these like American books put the lines out, all of the lines out quick.
Yeah, by the time DraftKings has the lines out, I'm already on the next card. Or maybe 2 cards down the road. You know what I mean? Like, come on. What are you doing?
You're on Page. That's right. It's not even that bad or good, I should say. I was going to say maybe Garry decision or maybe that fight by split.
Fight goes to split. What do we got on that?
Let me see. If I can find it on here. I know DraftKings has it, but goes to decision, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they don't. I don't see it.
Must have been 15 minutes.
No, I hear you. You're good. I'm just like talking to myself.
Yeah.
No, I don't see the split decision for that.
I phased out for a second.
Oh, okay.
That's silly, but do something. What other fights do we have on there? Let's see. Okay, going back through.
All the main card props are all out on DraftKings, but like the prelims aren't, other than Joe Pyfer and Cub Swanson. That's it. Those fights.
What about Chiasson TKO? That's got to be ridiculous, right?
I mean, you would think.
If we can get plus 800 or better, I don't mind that.
750.
Oh, geez. They're even shorting us on a Chiasson TKO? Are you kidding me?
Well, what about Macy inside the distance at plus 400, just in case?
I don't mind that. I mean,
that could be one play. We're both on her to win.
I can see her beating her. Just like, did you see the way she just ran through her last? I mean, it was competitive for moments, but like she sure got her finish.
Yeah, let's go with that. That's one play.
It's a ballsy play. Macy inside the distance plus 400. I like it.
And let's do one more, and we'll jump. We'll get that good.
We could play Tsuruya by either sub or decision. Like not necessarily the sub or decision, but like we could pick either one of those.
Let's see what that is.
Because I'm sure sub or decision is just like basically his money line.
Sub is plus 165.
Ooh, that's been steamed. I played it at plus 2 something a while ago.
That's on BetOnline.
Yeah, I played it on BetOnline originally. It was like plus 2 or another, but that was whenever they dropped the props Monday.
Yeah, and even him to win by KO is plus 225.
Jeez,
isn't that wild?
That's so dumb. These props are just destroyed. Okay, we can't play that then. And I'm assuming I don't think BetOnline has all like the like crazy stuff out yet, like over under strikes and stuff.
At least they might, but I'm just looking on fight odds.
Usually they don't put that out until like the last day or so. All right, so we got Macy.
What did you say? You said Jillian KO?
I love that line.
Plus 800?
We could do that. I bet it. Like I actually
what
bet that.
Is the sub inside the distance for Jillian's plus 155? Meh.
I bet that as well. We could do ladies inside the distance. Robertson inside the distance, Chiasson inside the distance. But we're double dipping on Robertson in our parlays, so we're really banking on her. We could theme this thing.
Ladies inside the distance that never go inside the distance.
I mean, Robertson's a finisher. She's got a lot of finishes.
True.
She might have more finishes in the UFC than anybody on this card. Like she's got a lot of finishes. Actually, maybe not anybody on this card. Anthony Smith's got a shitload of finishes.
Anthony Smith, yes. No, fuck time.
Anthony Smith has like 30-something finishes. He has more finishes than Jillian Robertson has fights. That doesn't count. But like Robertson's like got to be close. She's got to be second, maybe. She got a lot of finishes.
Let's see.
Maybe Yuri. Yuri's got a lot of finishes too. Just kidding.
We could do Alex KO.
What's that at? Minus 120?
Yeah, it's nothing great. Or plus 120.
Plus 120.
That's plus 1,000.
What is?
For both of them. Chiasson inside the distance and Alex KO.
Oh.
Plus 1,000.
I don't mind that at all. That's a good play.
Let's do it.
Do we want to get really, really wild and pick a round?
Round 2?
I would think round 2 is probably the round.
You
could do it in round 1, but I think round 2 is probably the round.
Plus 650.
I think all of Yuri's UFC fights except for one have ended in the second round.
Yeah, the Glover fight ended in round 5, but yeah, I think most of them have ended.
Every other fight's ended in round 2.
What is just
win or lose?
Round prop. Round 2. We can just do round 2. Either fighter plus 300. That's plus 1,900.
Dude, I love it.
Maybe a little bit safer.
Round 2 in that fight, and
Chiasson inside the distance.
Chiasson inside the distance.
You like it?
Love it.
I love it too. I'm in.
That's amazing. That is genius. And everybody that tails that when it hits is going to say, guys, you were geniuses. We threw $10 on that and we cashed. And they're like, we wish we'd have bet a bag on it.
I wish we would have. I'm only going to put like $5 or $10 on it, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Would you say it went to plus 1,900?
Yeah.
Dude, that's not a bad payoff for $10.
Let's see. Yep. Put that up there. That's the safe one right there. And this will be our little riskier one. Chiasson gets to inside the distance, whether it's sub or KO. And the fight ends in round 2 for the Pereira Yuri fight. Plus 1,900. Hoping for some violence. Happened last time in round 2.
They're both safe.
I like them. Definitely
I think
set up. I'll put that in on Twitter tomorrow. Put those bets in, all that good stuff. Yeah, definitely appreciate you hanging out with us. All the chat, Tyler. Definitely appreciate you coming on, hanging out, talking fights. It's always fun having you on as well. Before we go, let everybody know what you got going on this week. I know you got a lot of shows and where they can find you.
Okay, so yeah, check out my channel 130 MMA. I've already done a ton of content this week. This is like the third thing I'm doing. I've got another. So tomorrow night on my channel, we have the panel. The panel hosted by myself and the Couch Warrior. But not only that, we've got 2 very special guests, which we'll find out whenever
you're good.
Post that we're doing it. But they're mystery guests at this point, but it's going to be a great time. You guys are going to love it. 9:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. My gosh, you probably lost half that. But either way.
No, go ahead.
On my channel. Saturday, I'm pretty sure I'm on Best Bet.
Nice. Brady?
Am I back again?
Yeah, you're back. Go.
Okay. Did you catch all that?
You just said you might be on Best Bet. That's all I heard.
Yeah. Okay. So the panel tomorrow. Yeah, I might be on Best Bet on Saturday. I'm pretty sure I'm on Best Bet Saturday. I got to make sure to check my calendar. But either way, check out on everything that I'm doing. I've got to get out of here before this internet cuts out again, or I'm going to break something. So that's all I got.
There you go. Yeah, definitely check out 130 MMA. His link is in the description below. Go follow him on YouTube. He does a ton of shows this week. On Twitter and Instagram as well. Good luck to everybody. Please hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already. And we'll see you next week for Defend Your Units on Wednesday night. And good luck. Have fun. This is going to be a fun card. Looking forward to it. Good luck. Later.